Hello, and welcome back to Part 16 in my Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works playthrough. In the last episode we have, well, Rin transplanted her magic crest to Shirou so she can supply him with magic energy for the last and final battle against Gilgamesh, so he can materialize the reality marble that we saw in the fight against Shirou with Archer. Shirou against Archer. And well, the thing is, he has now the magic energy required for that, but can he pull off the reality marble, or can he not? In the last chapter, Eden, and the final day. And the final part, probably. I turn off the lights in the house. It's 4 in the morning. We leave the Emir residence with a few hours left until dawn. We have our plan. There's nothing else to discuss. Now we just need to go to the battlefield and carry out each of our responsibilities. There's no guarantee we'll come back safely. Well, until now, it's been a recurring event, but this time, there's no guarantee we'll return. So I need to make sure to turn off all the lights in my house. Huh? Someone's standing in the garden. A blonde girl gazes up at the night sky, doing nothing in particular. Hey, what are you up to, Saber?
空を見ていました。それとこの家を。
I was looking at the sky and this house. She answers me in a very gentle voice. When we first met, she looked at the house with a different expression.
いろいろありましたから、ずっと覚えていられるように心に焼き付けておきたかった。
So much has happened. I want to burn it into my memory, so that I always remember. Her voice. It reflects a demonstration that she might never come back. It reflects a determination that she might never come back. Even greater than mine. Yeah, well, remember it as long as you can. I make a humble request of her. From a windowed hallway.
はい。では私からもお願いします。
Yes. I have a favor to ask you as well.
あなたたちは私が守る。ですから必ず二人でこの家に戻ってください。
I will protect you, so please, make sure you both return to this house. Yeah, we will. It's the only answer I can give now. We're going to destroy the Holy Grail. When that happens, Saber will leave too, because she's a servant. I'd like her to stay here, and she's even developed an attachment to our home. But that's the rule. She can't break as long as she's servant.
ちょっとそこ何してんのよ。時間がないんだから急ぎなさいよね。
Hey, what are you two doing? We need to hurry. There isn't much time. A voice beckons us from the front door. Tosaka seems to have finished preparations and is already at the gate.
では、シロ。
Let us be off, Shirou. Yeah, time to finish this, Saber. I turn off the last light and leave the house with Saber. The night is quiet. In the garden, under the starry sky, the illusion of a girl gazing up at the stars still remains. Our direction is set. Saber Saber's going to breach Ryodo Temple from a front gate, while Tausaka and I will infiltrate from the back of the mountain. We plan to have Saber enter the temple slightly sooner than us to draw Gilgamesh's attention. We use the opening to sneak into Ryodo Temple from the back, stop the Holy Grail, and as soon as possible, and then head back Saber up. And I counter Gilgamesh's noble phantasm with my projection, so Saber can close in and finish him off. That's our only strategy right now. There's a barely impact path in the hills behind the temple. Osaka scales the slope as surely as if she'd scooped out the area beforehand. At night, the mountains are dark and sinister. The mountain is an unavoidable and spiritual ground. Invaluable and spiritual grounds, so it naturally repels us. While the dark mountain itself is dangerous to human hikers, it also embodies a sacred realm with high spiritual purity. However,
尋常じゃないわね、これ。生臭すぎて吐き気がする。
this isn't normal. The air is so fishy it makes me nauseous. Tosaka gags, squinting at Ryodo's temple at the summit. Fishy is just a figure of speech. There isn't actually a fishy smell coming from a mountain. It just feels bizarre. The air feels uncomfortably lukewarm, and it's sticks to my skin. Life energy in the air feels so raw, and can't tell if I'm breathing or the mountain is breathing. I even hallucinate that we are hiking up a giant intestine, not a mountain.
今更だけど、シロ、体の調子はどう？
I should have asked sooner, but how do you feel, Shirou? Suddenly, Osaka asked me how I was. Well, not good or bad. Honestly, I have so much that I don't know what to do with all this. Tell her my honest feelings. With this much magical energy, 10 or 20 projections would be a piece of cake. What you could compare to putting a jet engine on a worn-out plane. I feel like I can't relax, as if I'm springing a fuel leak and explode if I lose focus.
うわ、贅沢な悩みね、それ。けど、ちゃんと成功してよかった。初めてだったから心配だったのよ。
Wow, that's a nice problem to have. I'm glad it worked out though. I was worried because it was my first time. Worried? Don't tell me that was actually a really risky ritual.
過程じゃなくて、その後の話よ。
Not the process, but the aftermath.
シローに分ける魔力とセイバーに取られてる魔力のバランス。二人分の掛け持ちなんだから、セイバーの出力が落ちてるのはわかるでしょ？
I have to balance the energy I share with you. with the energy I share with you with the energy Saber takes. You know Saber's output is low because I have to juggle you both, right? Ah, right, that's true. And Saber can't fight the way she wants.
あのね、甘く見ないで。
Hey, don't underestimate me.
そんな不手際はしないし、セイバーに比べたら、シローに分ける魔力は小さいから、なんとかやっていけるわ。
I'm not that sloppy, and I'm not giving you much power compared to Saber, so it would work itself out.
ただ、無理は効かないの。今のセイバーは、一回しか聖剣を使えない。
Still, we can't be reckless. Saber can only use her sacred sword once right now. She can only use it once? And she can't use it on Gilgamesh. We need Saber's noble phantasm to destroy the Holy Grail. Then Saber's going to stop Gilgamesh without a trump card?
ええ。 だから少しでも早く合流しないとまずいわ。
Yeah, that's why we need to regroup with her as soon as possible.
セイバーがギルガメッシュを止められないと判断した場合、聖剣を使うようには言ってある。
Saber said that she'll use her sacred sword once she determines that she can't stop Gilgamesh.
けど、そうしたらセイバーに後はないの。セイバーの聖剣でなければ聖杯は壊せない。
But if she does that, she's finished. She can't destroy the Holy Grail without it.
だからその時は。
So, when that happens... He holds his breath. When that happens... She's prepared to use the sacred sword knowing that she'll disappear afterward. Osaka, you mean...
仕方ないでしょ。これはセイバーが言い出したことなんだから。私が止めたって彼女は聖杯を壊すわよ。
We don't really have a choice. It was Saber's idea. She'll destroy the Holy Grail even if I try to stop her. Osaka doesn't look at me as she murmurs. Damn it. What a fool she is. This is just as hard on Osaka. She doesn't want Saber to disappear either. Then, let's hurry. I won't let Gilgamesh have Saber.
当然よ。私のセイバーだもの。あんな奴に殺させないわ。
Of course not. Saber belongs to me. I won't let a guy like that kill her. We run up a game trail. I know what we need to do. We stop the Holy Grail as fast as we can, and then go settle things with Gilgamesh. Interlude. Is it Saber's perspective or whose is it? It's probably Saber's. The mountain is rumbling. Dark clouds shroud the sky, and the tree seems to tremble nervously due to the tremors. Saber watches it all from the mountain's gate. She sensed it as soon as she felt the noxious, indescribable aura oozing from Ryodo Temple. The Golden Servant isn't the only one awaiting her at the top of these stairs. Something apparent lies in wait for her and her allies. She can't make any mistakes up ahead. If the summit is going to be the place where they die, then she will be able to. She will be the one to face their threats of death. She hopes the other two can survive this ominous realm. For their sake, she can't afford to hold back. She can fire her sacred sword twice. She's well aware of that she will disappear the instant that she uses it a second time.
構わない。元より捨て身でなくてはかなわない相手だ。
No matter. This was never an opponent we could beat unscathed. Gilgamesh, the king of heroes. The only way to defeat the man with 1,000 noble phantasms with a decisive strike from her sacred sword.
じゃあセイバー、30分経ったら始めて。
See you, Saber. Start after 30 minutes. She recalls Rin's words. There's 1 minute left until the appointed time. Saber breathes in deeply and considers her condition. A breeze blows from the summit. She begins up the stone steps once the ill wind begins to shake the trees. She dashes up the steps in a single breath. As soon as she stepped foot on the stairs, the enemy would have realized her assault. The last servant she needs to defeat would appear within the temple grounds. She needs to get there fast as she can and defeat Gilgamesh before Rin and Shirou arrive. She isn't defying her master's orders. She began her assault after 30 minutes, just as Rin commanded. Even if she enters the temple's grounds earlier than expected and engages Gilgamesh, it isn't a violation of her orders. She just deviated from her master's projections in the course of protecting her master's life. While the air from the summit is putrid, she's like a gust of cleansing wind that cuts at the rod, and she ascends the steps. It will take her less than a minute to reach the temple. It should put her about 5 minutes ahead of Rin's projections. It will give her plenty of time to end the battle with Gilgamesh. She runs, enduring the ominous chill from the mountain gate. Like a silver speeding bullet, she races towards the summit. Just as she comes up to the gate... What? She didn't mean to stop, but she comes to a sudden halt. Sweat coats her forehead. Saber gazes up at the mountain gate in astonishment.
待っていたぞ。よくぞ間に合ってくれた、セイバー。
Oh. There is so much I don't remember. I didn't remember the scene in the last episode. Plenty of other stuff, and I truly as hell didn't remember that assassin is still there. Waiting. I'm glad you made it, Saber. A smooth voice cuts through the night. Moonlight glints off a 5-foot-long sword. An enemy that shouldn't be here stands at the top of the steps. Assassin? Her voice lacks its usual grace. She's faced with an enemy, an obstacle that shouldn't be here. That fact robs her of her composure.
どうした、セイバー。私がいるのがそれほど不思議か？
What's wrong, Saber? Is it that strange to see me?
私はここの門番だとお前は承知しているはずなのだが。
I am the gatekeeper here. You know that. His voice is delighted, yet cool. The swordsman seems completely unchanged. He's back to the ill wind from the summit.
バカな。なぜここにいるアサシン？あなたはキャスターが呼び出したサーバントだ。キャスターが消えた今、あなたがとどまっているはずがない。
This can't be. How are you here, assassin? Caster summoned you. You shouldn't be here able to remain now that she's gone.
通常のサーバントならばそうであろう。だが、私はちと特殊でな。この身を縛っているのは人ではなく、この土地なのだ。
It would be a true for a normal servant, but I'm a special case. I'm bound not to a person, but to this land.
お前たちがマスターと呼ぶよりしろ。私にとっては、それがこの山門ということになる。
For me, this mountain gate is equivalent to the house you call masters.
土地がよりしろだと。
The land is your host?
いかに魔術師といえど、実体を持たぬサーバントにサーバントは維持できぬ。サーバントのよりしろは、この時代のものでなければならぬらしい。
Indeed, a servant cannot maintain themselves without a physical body, even if one is a mage. Apparently, you need to host a host in the current era.
メギツネは私を呼び出し、よりしろにこの土地を選んだ。
That vixen summoned me as and chose this land as my host.
故に、私はこの山門にのみ出現するサーバント。召喚者であるキャスターが滅びたところで、この山門がある限り消えることはない。
That's why I can only manifest at this mountain gate. I won't disappear as long as this gate exists, even if my summoner is gone.
もっともそれも日雇いに過ぎんがな。
Still, I'm a little more than a day laborer.
メギツネが私に与えた魔力はおよそ20日分。その限度がいつか、お前ならば見て取れよ。
That Vixen only gave me enough magic energy for 20 days. You can see for yourself how close I am to that limit. The Smartman explains in a singing voice and lifts his right arm. In his elegant garment, his pale arm is transparent like glass.
アサシン、あなたは
Assassin, you...
見ての通り、夜明けまで持たぬ身だ。
As you can see, I won't even last until dawn.
20日の刻限などとうに過ぎている。ここまで持ちこたえたことこそ行幸と言えよ。
I'm already past the 20-day limit. I consider it a stroke of luck that I have lasted this long. She looks up at the swordsman in shock. His aura emits neither bloodlust nor hostility. It simply demands combat. He desires a pointless duel to the death, irrespective of victory or loss.
では私と戦うために残ったというのですか、アサシン。
So, you stayed here to fight me, assassin?
言わせるな、セイバー。口にすればつまらぬ言葉になり下がる。
Don't make me spell it out, Saber. If I say it, that would be boring. Assassin chuckles. Saber can understand the swordsman's reasons, but she doesn't have time for this. Unless she hurries, her allies will arrive while she's fighting Gilgamesh. Oh, in the worst case, they might arrive first and be forced to engage him without her.
そこをどけ、アサシン。あなたに門番を命じたキャスターは消えた。もはや門を守る意味などあるまい。
Move aside, assassin. Caster ordered you to guard the gate, and she's gone. There's no point in guarding it now. Saber takes a step forward. However,
いいな。もとより私に戦う意味などない。
no. For me, there's no point in fighting. He declares that the duel will begin if she proceeds any further. The tip of his long katana is pointed at Saber.
そう、戦う意味などない。私には初めから何もないからな。
Yes.
英霊としての誇りも望むべき願いもない。
Yes, there's no meaning to this duel. I've never had anything after all. No pride as a heroic spirit, nor anything to wish for.
いや、そもそも私が呼び出されたこと自体が間違いなのだ。何しろこの身は佐々木小次郎などではない。
No, my summoning itself was a mistake. After all, I'm not even Sasaki Kojiro. Saber is extremely confused. Sasaki Kojiro. That should be the servant's true name. But Assassin has just admitted that he's an imposter.
そう驚くことでもあるまい。
Don't be so surprised.
佐々木小次郎というものはな、もともと正体のない架空の剣士なのだ。
Sasaki Kojiro has always been a fictional swordsman with no identity.
実在したとされるが、記された記録はあまりに不鮮明。
He is believed to have existed, but the records about him are incredibly vague.
ある剣豪の敵役として都合が良い過去を捏造された人々の記録だけで剣豪とされた人物だ。
He is a fictional swordsman, fabricated in history, to be a nemesis to a certain renowned swordmaster.
確かに佐々木小次郎という男はいただろう。 物干し竿と呼ばれる長刀を持つ武芸者もいたはずだ。
Man named Sasaki Kojiro may as well have existed. There was probably even a martial artist with a longsword named Monoho Hashizao. Or I like to name it Long Drying Pole, because it was named like that in the codex.
だが、それらは一個人のものではない。
But most traits don't belong to a single individual.
佐々木小次郎という剣士は、引き立て役としてのみ作られた架空の武芸者であったはずだ。
The swordsman, Sasaki Kojiro, was a fictional martial artist created as a character for. You're a fictional heroic spirit?
そう、佐々木小次郎だ。佐々木小次郎というから、それを被るに最も適した剣士が私というだけの話だ。
Yes. All I am is a swordsman who was deemed most suitable to wear the shell of Sasaki Kojiro.
私に名などない。読み書きなど知らぬし、名前を持つほど余裕のある人間ではなかった。
I have no name. I don't even know how to read and write. And I wasn't wealthy enough to have a name of my own.
私はただ、記録にある佐々木小次郎の秘剣を披露できるという一点で呼び出された亡霊だ。
I'm just a wraith summoned here for my ability to demonstrate the secret technique attributed to Sasaki Kojiro in the histories.
偽りのサーバントであるこの身は長くは持たぬ。故に、キャスターも使い捨てとして扱った。
A fake servant can't last long. That's why cats are treating me as an expendable.
そら、意味など初めからないだろう。
See? There was never a point to my fights.
たとえここで偉業を成したところで、報酬はすべて佐々木小次郎に与えられる。私には何も返ってこない。無である私にとって、あらゆることは無意味だ。
Even if I accomplished anything noteworthy, all the credit would go to Sasaki Kojiro. I wouldn't profit from it at all. Everything is meaningless to me because I'm a no one.
この身は自分すら定かではない。佐々木小次郎という役柄を演じるだけの名のない使い捨ての剣士に過ぎぬ。
Even my own self isn't set in stone. I'm just a nameless, disposable swordsman who plays the role of Sasaki Kojiro. The longsword sways. The swordsman created a fictional character stand in Saber's way, prepared to fulfill his role.
だが、
But
その私にも唯一意味があるとすれば、無名のまま死んでいった私に、もし望みがあったとしたら。
But if there's any meaning to my existence, then it would be now. If I, who died with no name, were to have a wish. And surely the nameless swordsman would have dreamt of facing a superior swordsman, something he has never allowed to witness in his life.
アサシン。
She takes up her sword. There's no persuading this foe. The only response to a swordsman ready to lay down his life is to meet him with steel.
では始めよう。
Then let us begin.
何？元より花と散るこの身。その最後をそなたで迎えられるのであらば、これ以上の幕はあるまい。
This body was always meant to die. There couldn't be no greater ending to my life than to face you here. His longsword sweeps through the air. Saber's sword parries the moonlit blade. The katana suddenly changes direction. If she uses her strength against this man, she won't be strong enough to face Gilgamesh at the summit. But she also can't afford to hold back against Assassin. No. Can she win, even if she goes all out against him? Katana attacks grow sharper with each swing. A fictional swordsman, a master of a sword with a no-normal phantasm, who can fight on equal ground with her heroic spirits. She must settle this duel with him now. The summit is close. We arrive at the back of our temple grounds once we climb up the hill. There should be a large pond there, untouched by humans.
見えた。あともう少し。
See it, we are almost there. Osaka climbs the slope, pushing the branches aside. I watch her back, keeping an eye on our surroundings. And then, just as the slope levels out onto a flat ground, we come face to face with it. What is that? It's a squirming hunk of flesh. The thing, enshrined in the center of a pond, seems to arrive and beg for help, as it spews rotting black liquid around it. How big is that thing? The flesh hunk is slowly getting bigger. It looks like a floating island. Pond water looks muddy and sticky, as if it were an oil spill. No way. That's the Holy Grail? I avert my gaze, feeling uncomfortable. We had been breathing in that thing's exhaust as we went through the forest. It endlessly spew out magical energy, polluting the pond. Its blood isn't colorless magical energy at all. That dark stuff is a visible curse. Even looking at the black mud gives me chills. The curse breaches my retains. What? Die. A hammer. It hammers a single cold command into my brain. No one said anything about this. How are we supposed to stop it? The flesh hunk is about 30 meters away. The pond is shallow, so walking through water shouldn't pose a problem. But pushing our way through the black mud would be suicide. It's a curse that erodes the mists, the mind just like by looking at it. If we go into it, we'll be weakened and drowned before we even walk a meter.
あれ、破裂寸前よ。
That thing's about to explode.
元からああいう形なのかどうかは知らないけど、器があんまりにも小さすぎたんでしょうね。中のものを抑えきれず、器を壊して溢れ出ようとしてる。
I don't know if it's always looked like that. It's way too small to be a host. Whatever's inside is about to break the vessel and come pouring out. To break the vessel, then...
神事が聖杯になってるなら、神事を壊すってことでしょうね。ほら、見える？あの山の奥、なんか人型らしきものがあるでしょ。シローなら確認できると思うんだけど。
Shinji's the Holy Grail, and I'll destroy him. See, up there? There's a humanoid shape at the back of the mountain. Should be able to make it out, or... Huh? I follow Tosaka's line of sight. Within the rotting and growing flesh hunk, I do see something that looks vaguely human. Is he getting crucified? Torn clothes and a naked body, ugly muscular ripple under his skin, connecting the body to a flesh hunk. It's like the shape is different. It's a bizarre image, like a bunch of scrapes. shaped into a human form. It's Shinji. I can't see his face, but that definitely looks like him.
そうで生きてる
Is he alive? I don't know. He isn't dead, but I don't know if I can call this alive. His body's still breathing at least. I can't say that I see anything like a human limbs.
やっぱりねもともと今回の聖杯は人型だったなら人間っていう部品を利用して動かすってことでしょ
I knew it. This Holy Grail was originally humanoid, so it would need a human component to function.
シンジは合わないからああなったみたいだけど基本的に聖杯は宿主に生きていてもらわないと作動しない
Shinji turned out like that because he wasn't a suitable part. But the Holy Grail basically needs a living host to function. But it's about to explode. You said it's going to break, Shinji. Who's the core?
それは仕方なくよそうなったら聖杯も何もないただ聖杯によって開けられた穴からあの得体の知れないものが溢れてくるだけ
It's going to happen one way or another. If it does, there won't be any Holy Grail. All we'll get is that unknown stuff spilling out of a hole opened by the Holy Grail.
だから逆に言えばまだ間に合うわ
Meaning that there's still time.
聖杯は起動しているけど願望機っていう本来の姿になってなければ壊れてもいない
The Holy Grail is active, but it won't break as long as it doesn't return to its original wish-granting form.
あの金ピカは穴だけを開けるって言ってたでしょ
That goalie said he was only going to open the hole.
あいつの目的は聖杯を起動させて器だけ壊すことなのよそうすれば
His objective is to activate the Holy Grail and then destroy its vessel. If he does that, then that mud will pour out infinitely on a whole different level. There's no time to consider it. You pull Shinji out of the flesh hunk and stop the Holy Grail. Tosaka, can you do anything about that mud? It looks like we could walk on it if we freeze it.
無理ただの水ならいけるけどあれはもう呪いに加工された魔力なのよ形になった魔術を凍らせるなんてそんなの氷結専門の術者で難しいわ
Nope, that would work for water. But that's a magical energy processed into curses. Even a freezing specialist would have a hard time freezing magecraft given form. Oh, then we'll just have to pray for good luck. Only option is to cross the pond before the curse corrupts us and extract Shinji.
そのままで行く気無理よあなたじゃいいとこ真ん中で飲み込まれるってば
Hold on, are you going in just like that? Don't do it, it'll consume you while you're in the middle of it. I won't know that until I try. And there's no more time. Saber should be fighting right now. We can't afford to hesitate. I whirl around and move to protect Tosaka.
これは驚いた。
Well, this is a surprise.
まさか、三度もその不出来な顔を見るとはな。雑種。
Think I had to look at you disfigured face 3 times, mongrels. Gilgamesh sneers at us. He appeared by the pond instead of a temple as if he predicted our moves.
ギルガメッシュ嘘なら誰と戦ってるのよセイバーは
Gilgamesh? Then who's Saber's fighting right now? Osaka's words indicate that Saber engaged with some other enemy at the moment. I don't know who that might be, or how she ended up fighting them. There's no time to consider that right now. We are facing the worst person possible. This is the strongest servant whom we were supposed to take down as a trio. And now he's here, looking at us without saber.
何セーバーは不在か。つまらん。それではただ殺すだけか。
Oh, Saber isn't here? How dull. I guess I'll just kill you. Terrible chill oozes from the sea of mud, while bloodlust radiates from a man in front of us. Noble phantasms hang in the ready wait behind him. One wrong move and he'll skewer us.
いや、それでは芸がないな。
No. That would be uninspired.
本来なら有無を言わせぬが、今回は特別に許す。せっかくの客だ。そのせいにわずかばかりの猶予をやろう。
Normally, I would never suggest this, but I will make an exception. You are my guests, so I'll grant you a slight extension of your lives. An extension? Finger stands up, and I glare at the enemy. The magic circuits are open. I've lined up 14 blueprints, so many that I can imagine. As many as I can imagine. If he snaps his finger, I replicate as many swords as I can. That should be at least let Tosaka get away.
なんだ。言われなくてはわからんのか。
What? You need me to spell it out for you?
眉が帰るまでの数分、そこでかかしになるがいい。あれも見届ける者が俺だけでは寂しかろう。
I allow you to be a scarecrow until the cocoon hatches. It's lonely watching over that thing by myself.
この行く末を最後まで見届けるというのなら、そのせいにも意味がある。
If you bear witness to its fate, then your lives will have had meaning. How can I listen to that? Our objective is to stop the Holy Grail. If there's still time, then we need to rescue Shinji from that flesh hunk. Yeah, sorry, but we...
あんたの言いなりになんてならない。今すぐあの日会に行ってあんたの聖杯を止めてやるわ。
We're not playing along with your games. We're not going to that flesh hunk and putting a stop to it. We're going to that flesh hunk and putting a stop to your Holy Grail. Before I can finish, Tosaka takes the initiative and stares down Gilgamesh.
ほう
Really now? His lips twist into a smile. That laugh sounds like we have when someone decided to kill the person in front of them. Wait, Tosaka, that's...
シローはここであいつを止めて。
I want you to hold him off here.
無茶だって分かってるけど、セイバーが来るまでなんとか持ちこたえて。シンジは私が責任を持って引っ張り出してくるから。
I know it's reckless, but you need to hold him off until Saber gets here. I'm going to take responsibility and pull Shinji out. What do you mean, pull him out?
分かってるわよ。あんなんでも桜の兄貴だし、見殺しにはできないもの。それに、助けられるのなら助けるのがシローの心情でしょ。
I know what you're thinking, but that guy is still Sakura's older brother. I can't just let him die. Besides, isn't your credo to save everyone you can save? Tosaka starts to run towards the dark lake. Is she going to go into that mud as is?
なんだその滑稽さは。俺を笑い死にさせるつもりか、貴様ら。
What is that ridiculousness? Are you going to try to kill me with laughter? That guy. He laughs condescendingly at Tosaka's determination. You, what's so funny?
なんだ。お前はおかしくないのか、雑種。
What's that? Isn't it funny to you too, mongrel?
とんだ三流どもだ。あの呪いの中を進むだと？サーバントですら耐えられぬ呪いの渦を人間風情が踏破できるとでも思ったか？
You're a bunch of third rates. Go through that curse? Do you think a lowly human could walk through it when even servants can't withstand that whirlpool of curses?
私の底を甘く見ないで。この程度の呪いで染まるほど弱くないわ。
Don't underestimate me. I can handle curses like nothing.
それにね、私たちはあんたみたいに反霊体ってわけじゃない。ちゃんと生身のある人間なんだから、むざむざ飲み込まれてたまるもんか。
Besides, I'm not a half spirit like you guys. I'm a human with flesh and bones, so I'm not going to let that thing engulf me. She's obviously bluffing, but Tosaka might actually be able to get across if she says so. Like she said, Rin Tosaka isn't so weak as to lose to a curse like that.
そうか。ならば好きにしろ。
I see, and do as you wish.
もっとも、俺はそんな真似は許さんがな。
Though, I won't allow it. Trace. The sword shoots forward. The sword flies towards Tosaka's defenseless back to skewer her. Off. But it's instantly deflected by an kancho when I step in. By my kancho. I breathe heavily. I made it. Although I had prepared myself, this was the first time I had been able to project it so quickly. It must be thanks to Tosaka's magical energy. At this rate, we might be able to...
貴様。
Why, you... Murderous rage fills his red eyes. My projection triggers him to get serious. The noble phantasm behind his back increase in number.
シロ、
Behind me, I hear Tosaka's concerned voice. I don't look back and I keep my eyes on the enemy with my kancho at the ready. Tosaka, go get Shinji. That's all I say to her.
任せて。すぐに連れ帰ってくる。
Leave it to me. I'll bring him back in no time. I hear the sound of splashing water. Tosaka jumps into the sea of mud without hesitation. And I'm going to protect her. I won't allow a single noble phantasm to reach Tosaka. You need to deal with me. If you want to get to Tosaka, you have to beat me first. I take a step forward. This must have ticked him off. The golden servant takes his eyes away from Tosaka and focuses on me.
あの小娘はのたれ死ぬ。
That girl will die anyway.
俺が手を下すのはあくまで慈悲だったのだが。
Leading my hand in her death was just my way of showing mercy. A swarm of noble phantasms points towards me. He ignites his murderous intent like a sharp blade.
その前に、貴様には思い知らせる必要があるようだ。
But it seems I need to teach you a lesson before that.
薄汚い贋作者。
You filthy fake.
その身をもって、真偽の違いを知るがいい。
Who will learn the difference between real and fake. He deploys his own treasures without reserves. Longsword slashes the darkness. Assassin freely wields a nearly 2-meter long sword, and Saber is still unable to step within range. She can't avoid it and falls back. The distance between the two sides does not shrink. There's 1 meter between Saber and Assassin. But that distance is enough to prevent Saber from even running up a few more steps. She bites her lips. She doesn't have time for these skirmishes. Her opponent is typically someone she can best in strength. She could overpower him if she used the full might of her magic energy at her sword. And her sword. Just one blow. If she can just withstand that one blow, she'll easily be able to hold him down. Can be an arm or a leg. If she doesn't show she's sustained a few scratches, there won't be another attack. The moment she receives the blow, she's confident she can step into Assassin's range and cut her enemies in two. And yet, if that first blow manages to get her neck, there would be no way she can overpower him. That's the kind of blow that this servant in front of her can execute. There's no restraint, and there's there are always blows that are meant to take one's life. The only possible way to prevent that is to retreat. She is at a positional disadvantage since she can turn and attack from the side, and the enemy's skills prevent her from moving forward. Thus, she can't step forward. She needs to reach the temple compound alive. As she stands there, Shirou and Rin are going up against Gilgamesh. If she's late, one of them might die. Or worse, the two of them are already. She runs. She yells as if to dispel the ominous imagery that pops in her mind and rushes up the stairs. Two trajectories collide. Seeing her rush up with abandon, Assassin swirls with his blade, not at Saber's body, but at the sword swinging down towards him.
ほう、さすがはセイバーの剣。数回程度ならば耐えられると思ったが、一撃で曲がるとは。
I expected nothing short of from Saber's blade. I thought my sword would have been able to withstand a few exchanges, but it's I see to have that it has bent after a single blow. Sparks fly. They try to push at each other out of the way as the sword and katana clash.
受けた。アサシンが私の剣を。
He parried it? Assassin blocked my sword? Assassin's katana is fragile. While the katana may be able to cut iron in two, it's still made by human. Cannot compete against her sword, which was forged and created by non-humans. If struck from the front with force alone, the long katana will surely be shattered. Knowing this, Assassin made Saber's retreat by parrying the sword and going for her body instead. But Assassin blocked her attack. No matter how well trained and how tenacious Assassin is, this katana would not be able to fully defend against Saber's blow. The long sword that caught Saber's blow is now bent at its core. At this rate, he can no longer maintain his sharp advantage.
勝てる。無傷でこの男に勝てるのか。
Can I win? Can I win against this man unscathed? She asks herself as she pushes back Assassin's long katana. Her hesitation creates an opening. There's a reason Assassin blocked her sword. Now she realizes that reason. She's standing in a particular position. She's standing at a different position. The two who were once standing at the top of and bottom of stairs are now level with each other. Without realizing it, Saber's body shifted to the side and she was forced to stand on a flat footing. This is a repeat of last time. They are standing level with each other. A suitable footing to wield the secret sword. Here, assassin is able to execute his magical blade. Swallow reversal. Three arcing blades circle the enemy. If the target has no chance of defending or evading, it ensures that the enemy is killed. Chill. She shudders from the chill running down her neck.
アサシン、貴様。
Assassin, did you? Saber's strength leaves her. She can push back right now. As she is superior in strength, she can knock down Assassin and finish him off as she runs up to him. Or she can just run up toward the temple gate. But the outcome was going to be the same either way. If she disengages, that thing is going to come. Even if she knocks him away, whether she rushes in for the final blow or exposes her back to run up the stairs, the magical blade will be released, and it will be over for her. Which means she can't push forward. She can only let herself ease up and match Assassin's stare.
良いのか、力を弱めて。これならば、私の方からお前を弾き飛ばせるが。
Are you certain you want to ease up? At this point, even I would be able to push you back. Assassin looks at the cornered saber with satisfaction. There's nothing callous in his mannerism. The swordsman with the long katana is simply admiring the determined look on of his opponent, who is seeking to recover from a hopeless situation.
このために自らの武器を傷つけたのか、アサシン。
So that is why you damaged your weapon, Assassin?
無論、拉致が開かぬのでな、勝負をつけに来た。
Of course. Oh, I bet it was going nowhere, so I took a risk to settle the match.
これならば、以前のお前に戻ろうと思ってな。果たし合いの最中に、後のことなど考えるな。
I figure that would put you back into your element. I prefer you not to think of the future, while you are still in battle. She holds her breath. Assassin's words tell her that he sees right through her, yet it does not sound insulting. What? The compound is in flames. The sound of sword clashing and breaking. There's no doubt. It's the sound of Gilgamesh and Shirou fighting.
どうやら縁も竹縄というところだな。こんなところで門前払いを受けている場合ではないぞ、セイバー。
It appears the banquet is at its peak. Truly, this is no time for you to be impeded by a gatekeeper like me, Saber.
アサシン。
Saber grips her sword tightly. She puts magical energy into her sword in an attempt to repel the obstacle in front of her. But she can't. This very moment is her end. If she breaks the distance between herself and Assassin, she would be walking into Assassin's scheme. She grits her teeth in frustration. She wields her sword that is infused with magic energy, but she's unable to do anything. There.
何を迷う？お互いやるべきことは一つだろう。
Why do you hesitate? You know very well there's only one thing both of us can really do. The swordsman says it clearly.
アサシン。
もとより、我らは役割を果たすためだけに呼び出された。
From the very beginning, we were simply summoned to fulfill our roles.
私がこの門を守るように、お前にも守るものがある。
Just as I have been tasked to guard this gate, you are something you must protect.
ならば、迷う隙などあるまい。
So, you shouldn't have any time to hesitate.
それにな、セイバー。時間がないのは、お前に限った話ではない。
Besides, you're not the only one who is limited on time. There's no pretense in his voice. This is the first and last time the fictional swordsman speaks the truth of his heart. His wish is to have a fight to the death. This is the swordsman's wish. His reward for getting summoned to this age and guarding the gate this entire time.
失礼をした。確かに、お互い時間はない。
I've committed a discourtesy to you. You are correct. Neither of us has much time. Neither of us has much time. She releases the magic energy in her sword. Unrestrained power that gets released blows back assassin. He goes back about 2 meters. Saber does not move, even though she is within assassin's best range. She neither runs to the temple gate nor towards assassin. She unleashes her seal. Her sword is revealed, and Saber confronts assassin. There's no hesitation in her eyes. She will use her entire strength if need be. Her eyes declare that she will use all her strength to defeat the enemy in front of her. No word is exchanged for now. The imaginary swordsman slowly readies his long katana.
いざ。
Let us. He readies his strongest sword technique against the greatest enemy of his life. She walks through the sea of rotten flesh. The lake is not even a meter deep, but the sticky mass of flesh has accumulated at the bottom, so she only sinks in knee deep.
この気持ち悪いにも程があるってのよ。
This is absolutely disgusting. She grumbles under her labored breath. Every step she takes gives her chills, like she's stepping on a mass number of bugs. The rotting flesh that clings to her skin is unmistakably rotting flesh. And if she not stops, it will harden around her.
もうこんちくしょう。
Damn it. She shakes them off with all her might and keeps going. Slosh, squish, crush. Ugh. There's no way someone can stay sane from wandering through this content. After all this, slaughtering a cow should be a piece of cake. Tosuka thinks defiantly. That's how she's getting used to this. She's under much pressure that she has to think of this as work, or else she wouldn't even be able to move. But at least she won't sustain mental damage this way. But she can't endure this just with willpower alone. With each step forward, her body heat rises. The rotting flesh immediately invades her nerves the moment it touches her leg. Even if she tries to push them away, the poison has already assaulted her body. There are curses. The malice is tangible, and it's like a disease. One would fall ill if they touch it. It invades the nerves, robs the body of its strength, and boils the brain. Every step taken is a step closer to fatality. A normal person would stop moving after 2 steps and fall into a pool of flesh. It's unknown what would happen afterwards. She doesn't want to think about it. About if one suffocates or assimilates to become part of a flesh mound. She can't even think straight, given that she's now has a fever over 40 degrees. Oh man. This... Her feet and body threaten to fall over, but she pushes on, desperate to move forward. Rin didn't jump into the pool of flesh without a plan. She has swallowed her two remaining precious jewels, and she's using all the magical energy she has saved up to create a defensive film over herself. If this curse really is a catalyzation of pure magical energy, then she should be able to repel it by shrouding herself with strong magical energy. This is bad. Her vision blurs. Her assessment was correct, but it was way beyond the scope she imagined. The jewels she swallowed put up a defense to put up defenses were not better than a sheet of paper covering her. No human can go up against this corruption. There's nobody who can avoid getting engulfed in here. Here, her own strength was her only support system to survive.
もうこれなら火の上に飛び込んだ方が涼しいのに。
So hot. Jumping into a sea of fire would be cooler than this place. And actually, if she did jump into a sea of fire, it wouldn't affect her since she is protected by her gems. The moment she starts complaining, she gets angry at herself for even mentioning it and regains her vigor. That's not true. Even if it's not true, she can't crack a joke like that when dealing with something like this. In her feverish state, she listens to the clash of swords behind her. She can't foresee the two anymore. Did Shirou lead the battle away, or was he driven into a corner? Either way, the battle between us two seemed to have moved to the temple grounds.
あと少し一気に行くからそれまで。
Just a little more. I'm going to get this over with, so until then... She runs. She's barely fast enough to walk, but she moves her feet anyway. She pushes through the decaying flesh. She breathes heavily as she reaches the lump of flesh. Here I go. She moves up, crawling. She feels the amount of flesh.
なんかこっちのが楽みたい。
Oh, this is much easier. Ugh. You could say that this kind of resembles a person? Maybe? If it's supposed to be a person, the head? Maybe that's the head, that's the body? I don't know. She lets her body lean into the pulsating ground. This is much more disgusting, but the fever that invaded her nerves cools off rapidly.
ちょっとこれもしかして。
Huh? Wait, is that... She puts her finger on the red ground. It's the same as the black mud, but it has form. It's something that came from the Holy Grail and took form using magical energy, an incantation that should not exist in this world.
サーバント。これサーバントと同じなんだ。
Servants? This is the same thing as servants. She murmurs in amazement. She tries to make sense of it, but stops. Now's not the time. There's only one thing she needs to do.
よし、回復した。さっさとシンジを見つけて、こんなところとはおさらばよ。
Okay, I've recovered. I need only to find Shinji and get the hell out of here. She gets up and runs up the mound of flesh. The mountain of flesh is floating is a floating island about 50 meters in diameter. She couldn't see it if it's in its entirety from the bank of a lake, but the surface is folded over multiple times like a mountain range.
いた。
There he is, at the very depths. Shinji Mato is there, hidden among the flesh. I repel the incoming swords. There are more than 10 noble phantasms deployed, and all of them shoot straight towards me like arrows. I throw away the sword that turns to dust and ready for the next attack. In a single gulp of air, my labored breathing goes back to normal. If my breathing is labored, I can't do projection. Without a weapon, my body will get skewered. This isn't a battle against that guy. It's a battle against myself. The moment my projection speed and accuracy go down, that's when I'll disappear.
はっそら休んでいる暇はないぞ
Ah, come on. There's no time for you to rest. I respond to his voice and a straight sword I've never seen before points towards me. It makes a loading sound and shoots towards me with a lethal speed. Trace. I'm unable to deflect the full impact and I fall to the ground on my back. I quickly roll onto the side and stand up to regain my stance.
どうした質が落ちているぞわずか一撃で壊れるようでは複製とは言えんな
What's wrong? Those things aren't as high quality anymore. Wouldn't call them replicas if they break after a single hit. A scornful laugh. He's obviously enjoying this. If he releases all the noble phantasms behind his back at once, there's no way I could defend myself. But he's only shooting them off one by one, holding back to test my limits. But I'm lucky that's happening right now. Despite Tosaka backing me up, it's difficult for me to project after only seeing the opponent's weapon. I can only replicate its appearance. I can't construct its inner abilities, which is why they get destroyed after a single hit. What did that guy say? That guy said I'm the only one who can beat him. But this is all I can do. I can only defend myself from his noble phantasm, and I can't rush into the attack to attack him. I need to at least 2 weapons. But I'm having trouble with just one. So how the heck am I supposed to project 2 at the same time?
どうした歯ごたえがあるのは口先だけかフェイカー
What's wrong? Is your tongue the only thing of substance about you, Faker? He must like seeing me roll around as he looks entertained. I catch my breath. Things are fine as long as he's enjoying this. As long as he's acting that way, there's still a chance for me to win. Trace. On. I direct my mind to look inside me. There are only a few circuits. There I mentally line up all the blueprints I can imagine. I visualize 17 noble phantasms. I analyze its internal structure based on their outward appearance, and I draw out the concept of creation and choose to its compositional material. I cough up blood. I'm paying the price for putting multiple blueprints inside the circuit that usually handles only 1 or 2. Since I started using projection, my nerves have become damaged, and my body has started to crumble from the inside. Blood pools in my stomach, and my esophagus is working like a pump to expel the blood out of my body. Possession, experience, sympathy complete. I swallow was down. and continue with my process. Kancho and Bakuya. Can't block with noble phantasms. If only I had archer swordsmanship, I could probably defend myself with twin swords, but I don't have that kind of skill. There's only one way for me to for my inferior swordsmanship to prevent those noble phantasms. I just have to offset using the same exact noble phantasm that he deploys. I still have enough magic energy. Osaka's supplies have been more than enough. But my circuits moving that energy are on the verge of corrosion. My end is near. The moment that guy gets serious, I have to project the same amount of noble phantasms he deploys, or else I won't survive. But at the same time, my body will definitely be destroyed if I project that much. Process complete. All projections stand by. I save the images flowing in my mind. The sword that tried to go outside will actualize as I imagine them, and pierce me from within. If my burned out circuits can't control it, the sword inside me will shoot out and will literally be a pincushion. And I will literally be a pincushion.
ほう、今度は多いな。10、15、17。そうか。目に見える我の宝具をすべて複製したわけか。
Oh, there's more this time. 10, 15, 17. I see. So you have replicated all my noble phantasms within your view. What?
なめるな。魔術師の手の内など看破できなくて何が英霊か。お前に働く魔術の数など、それこそ手に取るようにわかる。
Don't underestimate me. What sort of heroic spirit would I be if I can't see through the hands of mages try to deal? I know exactly how much magecraft you can do. This line catches me off guard. Is the king of heroes who possesses thousands of treasures trying to say that he can perceive our magecraft just by looking at us?
では採点だ。
So, let me assess and grade them.
もっとも、いかに成功であろうと、一本たりとも世には残さんが。
Or however faithful the reproduction may be, I shall not allow a single piece of them to stay in this world. I reacted too late. I was distracted by his words, and I created a fatal delay on my part. 17 noble phantasms are shot out. A portion of the king's treasure ran out like an avalanche, telling me that the king is done playing around. Release, freeze, release all projections. My body wavers. The sword that shoot out from within me collide with the one shooting toward me, and the impact shakes everything around. I can't block them all. Even though I projected 17 noble phantasms, I can only give form to them one at a time. Even if they're consecutive, I can only deploy one at a time. On the other hand, my opponent is able to shoot them all at once. I've been no match from the get-go.
ガラス細工にしてはよく持つが、それもあと数撃か。そら、急いで真似ねば八つ咲きだぞ。
Your glass trinkets are holding up well, but you only have a few left. Come on, copy them quickly, or you will be torn to pieces. I hear him taunt over with clashing swords. 12 more enemy noble phantasms.
しかし、ほとほと愚行よな。
But you certainly are foolish.
俺には勝ち得ないと考え、聖杯だけでも取り外す判断は正しい。お前では我には叶うべくもない。
You know you cannot beat me. So your decision is to dismantle just even the Holy Grail is correct. You are no match for me. My fingertips are burning. The magic energy I emit and the heat from the colliding noble phantasms mercilessly burn my fingertips. 7 more noble phantasms left.
それならばあの男を殺してしまえばよかろう。
But in that case, why not just kill that boy over there?
聖杯を止めたいのであれば、神事を始末することこそが確実だ。魔術師であるお前たちならば、あの泥を越えずとも殺しようはあったろう。
Killing Shinji would be the most effective and absolute method to stop the Holy Grail. I'm sure you mages would have been able to find a way to kill him without even crossing that mud.
だというのに、まだ救おうというその偽善。まさに雑種の具現よな。
To try to save him even at this point is nothing but hypocrisy. An act which sums up you mongrels perfectly. It's going to break. My circuits are going to burn out completely. It's not enough. I am no match against this man with my measly circuits. Damn, why? I can't block them? That guy said I could win, but this isn't even a contest right now. So, does it mean... Am I making some sort of mistake? Three noble phantasms left. I don't know if my body can hold out until I block them all. No, what I need to be thinking of right now is what the difference is between my blades and Archer's blades. Huh? In that moment, all of my senses freeze up. I don't even look at the remaining 3 noble phantasms. I'm focused on the golden servant pulling out a sword. A strange sword. My mind goes blank the moment I see what looks like to be a stone pillar.
女を救うと言ったな、小僧。
You say you want to save that woman, boy. His taunting voice echoes with the roar of a sword. I eliminate the 3 remaining blueprints in my circuit and rapidly try to read her sword. And yet... I can't get a reading on it. Until now I have been able to read every sword. But I can't read the construction of that sword.
ならば見せてみろ。その贋作で一体何が救えるのかを。
And show me. Show me how you can save her using those imitation of yours. Burin creates a fault line. The slashing winds wreath from Gilgamesh's sword push away its own old phantasm and head towards me. My mind is still blank. I can't come up with any countermeasures, so I just release the remaining magical energy within me. Let us. The swordsman holds up his sword. An unknown imaginary stance from an unknown imaginary man. He readies his fatal technique that cuts his enemies by simultaneously executing blows from different angles. He's experienced the attack before. The previous one only attacked in a circular motion and at a vertical axis, and was why she was able to avoid it and managed to survive. But the true technique is said to have 3 trajectories. A circular and vertical slash, and probably a horizontal slash that cuts anyone who tries to escape sideways. If all three of those were to be released simultaneously, there's no escape. Once in range, the other two attacks will hit even if one is blocked. Escaping sideways is impossible, and the long katana will be able to make contact with the target if the target tries to retreat back. Magical Sword, Swallow Reversal. A divine technique that surpasses even the power of servants. This is the ultimate technique an unknown swordsman put his entire existence into perfecting. The long katana wavers. He steps in to reduce the distance between the opponents. A distance close enough to cut down Saber. From a distance that does not allow any defense, the constricting trajectory is unleashed. Saber's not going to use her sacred sword. To begin with, she can't use a noble phantasm from the distance the two are at. No matter how fast Saber's sacred sword may be, Assassin's Swallow Reversal is much faster. I heard it will surely fly, while she tries to put magical energy into her sword. But the only thing she can rely on is her sword skills. The blade's arc begins to move in, even though this is her second time seeing it. Its precision and speed are astonishing. How much training did he do to be able to execute an attack like that? At that moment, Saber could only just shudder. That attack cannot be blocked. His magical sword is a man attempts at challenging the gods and Buddha. Nobody but a god would be able to prevent a parry the attack. She holds her breath. In the back of her mind there is a faint spark, as small as a grain of sand. She doesn't think of what that is, or if it's the right thing to do. But she risks everything on that one, instinctual inspiration. She charges forward that victory with all she has. What did the fictionist Swordmaster think in seeing that? The silver armor slips through the gap between his arms. Under the swordsman's left elbow, between his waist and arm. She must have seen that the slightest gap was the magical sword's blind spot. While her armor gets chipped away by the three blades that come flying, Saber curls herself up and rushes towards that one point. Her prediction, her outstanding intuition allows her to execute like exquisite skill. She was able to foresee the complete form of a magic sword, which was yet to be seen, because she had experienced the incomplete swallow reversal once. However, this is not the surprising thing. What truly kept her alive was her determination. She trusted that momentary spark and put all of her ability into that momentary gap. She shook off a fear that she might get cut up into pieces if she was even slightly delayed, and ran through the gap that was impossible to pass. And thus, her determination was what managed to defeat that magical blade. But the match isn't not over. Avoiding this swallow reversal puts her enemy right next to her, and her lung outpaces the swordsman's draw. Lunge, sorry. The position is not easy to recover from. The long katana flies. The recoiling blade is quick, even if it might not be as quick as the demonic blade. And yet, her attack slightly outperforms and is faster than the swordsman's. He purses his lips. He closes his lips tightly and strains to keep himself from collapsing. The blood that flows back from his gut fills his mouth, and he swallows it, determined not to spit it out. The golden-haired knight stands below the swordsman. The swordsman's code does not allow him to do something like defy his opponent, enter brilliance with an explosion from his innards. Saber says nothing. Strands of her golden hair flutter on the stone stairs. It's a wonder her head is still attached. It's a miracle that her limbs were not sheared off. She felt her body would be cut She felt her body would be cut in for the instant she went through the opening. There was only one factor that made the difference. The swordsman's long katana. Had his blade not bent, his magical sword would have surely been invincible. The air is rumbling. Another battle is going on behind the temple gate. Saber does not know what to say as she looks up at the dying swordsman. To that. Go. The swordsman says without looking at her. How much meaning is contained in that single word? Saber draws her sword and runs up the stairs with all her might. She does not turn back to the swordsman. She simply runs up to fulfill her role.
美しい小鳥だと思ったのだがな。その実、獅子の類であった。
I'd thought that she was a beautiful bird, but she turned out to be a lion. He mutters, and the swordsman laughs, realizing it was inevitable. She avoided something that even a swallow could not avoid. Thus, she was not an object to be admired and loved.
女を見る目には自信があったのだが、どちらも修行不足ということか。
I was confident in my abilities to assess women. I suppose I require more training in that front as well. The swordsman complains with a shrug. His form and his elegant attire were starting to fade. Ayori. I don't know that word. His pierced stomach and his blood-stained feet become faint. Yet he looked at the situation unconcerned and sat down on the stone pavement. The trees rustle. The wind coming down from the top of a mountain shakes the forest. Every time the flowers scatter, the birds disappear. And the wind stops, and even the moon in the sky fades. The swordsman who was just there disappears without a trace, as if his existence was an illusion. In that instant, I deploy the strongest weapon out of all the items I've ever replicated. But it won't even work as a shield against what it's presented before me. Sword of Rupture. The mysterious sword cuts through the wind, annihilating 6 noble phantoms, and severs my body. It's disappearing. My circuits get disconnected, and the magical energy from Tosaka has nowhere to go but back. Man, I curse my inadequacy. I knew I was inexperienced, but I seriously curse at myself for never really thinking of the implications or how that would affect me. Why do I have so few magic circuits? If only I had a little more. If only I hid a little more and reached beyond the darkness a bit, I could have fought like him. I fall to the ground. I can't soften the impact and I fly thousands of meters away, falling violently on my back. There's no pain from the impact. I've lost all sensation. Even my mind goes white and blank. Right before I head towards death. My last thought is how amazed I am that my limbs are still attached.
そこまでか。やはり偽物は偽物だったな。お前では何も救えない。
This ends here. A fake will always be a fake. You cannot save anyone. My heartbeat gets weaker. My lungs are not moving and my trachea is frozen.
これならば、アーチャーが残った方が楽しめた。
Sparring Archer would have afforded me more amusement.
やつも贋作者だったが、その理念は俗物ではなかったからな。
He is also a fraud, but at least his principles were not uncultured. The fact that I can't see isn't because my eyes are damaged. Right now, everything inside me is messed up, and my body has ceased to function properly. Maybe I would consider that to be fortunate. I've forgotten all sensation of pain, so I should be able to die easily at this rate.
ああ、そういえばやつも言っていたな。お前の理念は借り物だと。自身から生み出したものが一つとしてない男が何かをなそうなどと、よくも思い上がれたものだ。
Ah, I remember now. He said that your ideals are is a borrowed one. How can someone who has not created a single thing for his own accord think he can accomplish anything? I can't let that happen. Even if the pain causes me to be brain dead. If I come to my senses, I tell myself I need to regain consciousness and stand up. My deeply rooted psyche is pointing to a certain place and telling me something.
正義の味方？誰も傷つかない世界だと？
Hero of justice? A world where no one gets hurt?
おかしなことを。誰も傷つかず幸福を保つ世界などない。
You say such ridiculous things. There's no such world where happiness can be preserved without harming others.
人間とは、犠牲がなくては生を謳歌できぬ獣の名だ。平等という綺麗事は、闇を直視できぬ弱者のざれ事に過ぎん。
Humans are basically beasts that cannot enjoy their life without sacrifice. The pretense of equality is nothing more than drivel by the weak, who cannot face darkness.
雑種。お前の理想とやらは、醜さを覆い隠すだけの言い訳に過ぎん。
Mongrel, your idea is just an excuse to cover up ugliness. I raise my arm. Even though I shouldn't be able to move. My body is on the ground, my consciousness is on the brink of death. I raise my arm to grab onto something, like I did on a fateful day. I don't know what's funny, but someone's laughing. High-pitched laughter that assaults my ears sounded like everyone in the entire world was laughing. A fake wish. A borrowed ideal. A dream won't come true. Someone sneers. Yeah, they're right. These thoughts of mine are borrowed. I just admire the wish to help someone because it was beautiful. There's nothing that came from me. I was always driven by the curse, like obsession that my body needed to be for someone else. That's why it's fake. Such hypocrisy will save nothing in the end. First of all, I don't even know what needs to be saved. But I also still feel that's beautiful. That concept did not come from me. I just saw someone save someone else and mimicked it. On that day, I was empty inside. Everyone died indiscriminately, and I couldn't save anyone. I couldn't suppress my terror. The type that was unreeling before me, and I had no choice but to resign myself to the fact that humans were weak. That's why I admired that ideal. I cried at the preciousness of it because I didn't have it myself. Is that wrong? Is it fake because I'm not the one feeling? It's not my own feelings? Is it wrong for that wish to come true if it's fake? No, I don't think it's wrong. I don't care if it's fake. Even unattainable ideals just need to be fulfilled. It was a dream that couldn't be granted from the start. An unreachable utopia. And even if Shirou is a fake, the thing that is there is undeniably real. That's right. I already knew it. I know, I can't save everything. I know that there is no salvation without sacrifice. Now that I'm an adult, I understand that's reality. Despite knowing that such a thing was only an idea, I continue to seek for it. It doesn't end when someone gets hurt. Even if the best outcome is for someone to get hurt in order to save many, I'm still going to seek a version of happiness where nobody gets hurt. There's no justice in this world. Reality is that people keep dying for nothing. But I don't think resigning to that idea is right. And in the end, he reached this place. What he believes. What he believed. He said, they were all hypocrisy. But the ones who said it that followed through on this hypocrisy till the end. Knowing that, I can't keep going. I can't keep going. Even if I borrowed his ideals, even if I'm going to stay a fake, I don't care. I don't have such complicated feelings that I have to worry about too much in the first place. I thought to myself on the Hill of Swords, if I could save just one world that I can see, I fight for it. I didn't even have to think about it. My world is small. This small world is all I have. Is all I have ever been able to create. That's right. This body of mine is made of solid swords. Yeah. That's why I'll be able to endure most things. I can stick to my dreams until the very end. Even the wear and tear over the years. And even if at the end, none of what I have thought was there. Oh, so that's it. I get up. The moment I regain consciousness, my limbs move. My body still moves after I get up with great force. It's a wonder why I'm not only alive, but I'm able to stand up after that sword blow. But it doesn't matter. If I'm alive, there must be a reason why. It's something that I just have no control over.
直前に盾を敷いたのか。出し惜しんだとはいえ致命傷だったはずだが。
Did you put up a shield right before? I may have been reluctant to use my sword, but it should still have been fatal.
存外にしぶといな、小僧。
I knew you were a persistent boy. You're reluctant? Why would you hold back when you have mounts of weapons at bay? I steady my breath while keeping my distance. I know how to do it now. I'm sure I can do it with Tosaka's backup. The problem would be in my casting time. I've memorized it, but I don't know how fast I can get it to work for me unless I try.
今のは覇者にのみ許された剣だ。
Only the Supreme Ruler is allowed to use that sword.
強が乗ったゆえ見せてやったが、本来雑種などに使うものではない。
I shouted to you for my amusement, but it's not something to be used against mongrels like you.
エアと打ち合う権利を持つ者はセイバーだけだ。
Only person who has the right to exchange blows with air is Saber.
お前のような偽物に使ってはセイバーに合わせる顔がない。
I would have been unable to face Saber had I used it on a fake like you. Numerous noble phantasms appear, but all of them are third-rate weapons. After seeing this what I just saw, the difference is obvious. But those weapons are still not to be taken lightly. Normally there would be more than enough to kill me. The difference in our strength has not changed. Even though I miraculously survived that last attack, I'm no match against that servant with just my projection.
ほう、真似事はおしまいか。ようやく無駄と分かったらしい。
Oh, are you done playing pretend? So you finally realized your efforts are useless.
ならば潔く消えるがいい。偽物を作るその頭蓋、一片たりとも残しはせん。
And disappear without a trace. I will not leave a single piece of cranium that makes you a fake. The floating noble phantasms are deployed. But then,
Shirou!
a gust of blue wind intervenes between us.
セイバーか。
Gilgamesh instantly jumps back. Even Gilgamesh is cautious against Saber. Seeing his swordsmanship is inferior, he probably wants to avoid hand-to-hand combat with Saber.
よかった。無事ですか、シロ。
I'm relieved. Are you alright, Shirou?
遅くなりました。あとは私が受け持ちます。シロは離れて。
I apologize for my delay. I shall take over now. Please stand back, Shirou. No, I'm going to take care of Gilgamesh alone. You're the one who is going to step back, Saber.
何を言うのです、シロ。
What are you saying, Shirou?
その体で彼の相手をすると。いえ、そもそも魔術師ではサーバントには太刀打ちできない。それはあなたもよく知っているでしょう。
Do you intend to fight him in your current state? No. A mage cannot contend against a servant in the first place. You should know that. Yeah, but he and I are an exception. Believe me. I'm sure I can beat him. Saber gasps. Saber is surprised because she believes what I'm saying. I want you to quickly get to the back of the compound. Tosaka is trying to stop the grail of her own, but you're the only one who can destroy that thing. A few seconds, no, not even a second passes, after she tightly closes her eyes once.
ご武運を。リンは私が必ず。
I wish you luck. I will be sure to aid Rin. She says exactly what I want to hear, and steps away from Gilgamesh. The silver armor turns away. Saber. I call out to her just once. I couldn't save you. And I say it. I'm going to try to tell her on behalf of the times I've spent with her and the time he spent thinking of her. I don't think that the Holy Grail is the one you seek. That's why you should take a good look at it, so you won't make a mistake next time.
Shirou.
Sorry, I can't put it into words. Well, I don't think I was worthy to be your master. That's why. I couldn't even find out what she really wanted.
そんなことはない。シロウは私のマスターだ。
That is not true, Shirou. You are my master. Saber?
サーバントとして責務を果たしてきます。伝えたいことはその後に。
I will fulfill my duty as a servant. If there is still anything you want to tell me, we shall talk afterwards. She runs off without turning back. A gallant appearance is like a gust of wind. Saber left. Without the slightest doubt, she believed my words when I said I would beat my opponent, and left to save Tosaka. Alright, let's go. From here on, there's no room for hesitation. All I need to do is to defeat the enemy in front of me.
正気か貴様。ただ一つの勝機を逃し、あの小娘を助けさせるだと。
You sane? You just let go of your one chance at victory so you can save that girl?
たわけめ。自らを犠牲にする行為など全て偽りに過ぎぬ。それを未だ悟れぬとは筋金の入った偽善者だ。
You fool. Act of self-sacrifice are nothing but falsehood. If you still do not realize that, then you are a bona fide hypocrite.
ああ、それだけは称えてやろう、小僧。
Ah, yes. I praise you just on that front, boy. There's no phantasms deploy. There's less than 30 of them. If I want to block them, I just have to create them. An imitation, a hypocrite, huh? Yeah. It doesn't sound bad. It's true, I am a faker. I raise one of my arms. I close one eye and turn my mind to look within. I had it all wrong. My projection wasn't making swords. I'm not that skilled to begin with. That's right. Tosaka told me this. I can only use one kind of magecraft. Strengthening and projection are just byproducts of what I actually do. That's right. There's only one thing I can do. And that's to give shape towards my heart. I turn. I grab my outstretched right arm with my left hand and glare at Gilgamesh. I am the bone of my sword. I say the spell. Casting is only a method of suggestion, change oneself. These words were naturally there to connect me.
そうか。よまいごとはそこまで。
Well, that is enough of this nonsense. Numerous noble phantasms get released. I create. That's why I had one eye open. I drag out a shield from the hill to block the oncoming noble phantasms. A swarm of sword strikes wildly. The shield is Shirou Emir, myself. The 7 petal shield cracks and creaks and my body chips away with every fracture. Steel is my body and fire is my blood. There's only one place I need to reach. The power that surges from Fourth immediately fills me to capacity. What is he surprised about? Is he shocked that his treasure can't even penetrate through my single shield? Or is he surprised that a rush of magical energy? I have created over 1,000 blades, unaware of loss, nor aware of gain. It's going to break. Surging magical energy can't be suppressed. 10 units of magical energy filling a single magic circuit break the foundation to find release. Cannot break through? My blood flows backwards. The shield is full of holes. Even if his noble phantasm do not reach me, my body is full of holes already. And yet, withstood pain to create weapons, waiting for one's arrival. Magical energy rages out of control, but I don't care. My body is a circuit that solely exists to use a certain magecraft, and that magecraft alone. So there should be something beyond that. There should be something beyond that if I can make it with this circuit. No, even now it's there. It's just not visible. There were no circuit limitations from the very beginning. If what was preventing it was not a wall, but darkness, then the limit is somewhere beyond the darkness. I have no regrets. This is the only path. Ten units of magical energy filling a single magic circuit break the foundation to find release, and I will use the 100 circuits to take the 1,000 units of magical energy. My whole life was Unlimited Blade Works. I say its true name. In that instant, everything shatters and regenerates. Flames rush. The fire becomes a wall that creates a boundary and changes the world. The wasteland of follows. The hill with countless swords in disarray reveals itself before me. How does this place look to that guy? Golden Servant simply stands there with a seething look on his face and confronts his enemy. That's right. I don't make swords. I create a world that contains infinite swords. This is the only magecraft allowed to me. A desolate world. A graveyard where there are no living creatures, only swords. In this world, where swords are replicated just by looking directly at them, every sword in existence is here. This is Shirou Emiya's world. A reality marble. The greatest forbidden magecraft that materializes the caster's mental world. This is the heroic spirit Emiya's noble phantasms, and the only weapon I possess. Everything is here and nothing is here. That's why it's called Unlimited Blade Works. As someone who lived his whole life with a sword, this is the only definite and tangible answer he was able to obtain. A reality marble? So this is your ability? I take a step forward. Surrounding me are the swords that were floating behind him earlier. Don't be surprised. They are all imitations. Just as you said, we're all trifling objects. I stretch out my arms. The sword stuck in the ground come out easily, as if accepting me as their wielder. But you know what? There's no rule or reason a fake can't best the real thing. If you're the real thing, then I surpass you completely and strike down your very existence. I step forward. In front of me is the servant who possesses thousands of treasures. Let's do this, King of Heroes. Do you have enough weapons in stocks? You surely are conceited, mongrel. The enemy opens his gate and deploys numerous noble phantasms. I charge through the wasteland. Here, the two different groups of sword begin their final clash. What is that? The first thing Saber sees after taking a detour in the temple grounds and reaching the lake is a massive lump of meat. She's not like any other knight. She fought many kinds of monsters when she was called a hero. She's even fought Dragonkin, aimed to be the strongest of a phantasmal species. But even Saber can only falter at the lump of meat. It is not because of how unsightly it is. It is because she can tell that the curse released from that shape, that lump of meat, is the same as herself. A servant? Can a servant change that much if a summoning is done wrongly? Or is it the power of a Holy Grail? She stares at the lump of meat, stunned, and shakes her head. Rin, where are you, Rin? She runs to the lake and yells at to the lump of meat on the opposite shore. She's hesitant to enter the black mud inside the lake. It's not because it's unpleasant. Her instinct tells her that she cannot touch it as a servant who is half spirit. She hears a voice calling. It's faint, but she hears her master commands. She looks closely and searches around the lump of meat. She steps forward without hesitation. Hold on! Stop! Saber, don't come in! Saber's body stops. She retreats and stares at the lump of meat while readying her sword. Rin!
いいからダメ。その泥に触れたらあなただってこうなるわよ。いいからセイバーはそこで宝具の準備をして。この塊はもうすぐ弾けるわ。その前に宝具でぶった切っちゃって。
Just don't. You end up like this if you touch that mud. Stay there and get your noble phantasm ready. This clump will explode soon. Use your noble phantasm on it before that happens. Saber cannot nod to her master's tense voice. She can tell that the lump of meat is about to hatch. The squirms turn into throbs, and the quantity of mud spat out continues to increase. The lake turns black, and the black mud is overflowing onto the ground. That thing is growing. The world's restraining power will be activated if that thing is left alone. It is natural for her to destroy it with her sacred sword before that happens. But to do that, please escape, Rin. I can do it once you get out of that lake.
オッケー、任せた。けどもし間に合わなかったら、間に合う方を取って。
Yeah, okay, I'll leave it to you. But go ahead and use it if I don't make it out on time.
セイバーとの契約は切れちゃうけど、シローが無事ならなんとかなるでしょう。バカなことを。構いません。何に変わろうが、このような呪い蹴散らして。
Our contract will be get severed, but you should be fine if Shirou is alive, right? Do not be ridiculous. I do not care. I can handle a curse like this. Saber runs into the black mud, heading towards the lump of meat. But her body does not move. Her body stops just when she tries to go near the lake. Rin, did you use the command spell?
当然でしょう。聖杯を壊せる唯一の人材をむざむざ死なせるわけにはいかないもの。
Of course. I can't let the only one who can destroy the Holy Grail die.
それに心配無用だってば。この程度簡単に振り切って逃げ出すから。セイバーはそこで大船に乗ったつもりで聖剣の準備をしてなさい。
I told you there's no need to worry. I can easily get out of this. You can rest assured and stand by with your sacred sword. The thoughts that she commands are full of composure as always.
Rin.
But needless to say, just a bluff. The lump of meat on the opposite shore. The master that is there has nowhere to run.
なんてね。まあ、言うはやすしってやつだけど。
Just kidding. Well, it's easier said than done. She murmurs while being surrounded by strange arms made out of meat. The situation is hopeless. Shinji Mato was saved. She ripped off the blood vessel and nerves which had melted into his whole body and took him out of the lump of meat. One could say he is alive, if one turns a blind eye to that after effect he may have. No, although he has fainted, one could say that he is better off than the girl carrying him.
問題はその後か。そりゃ心臓取られちゃ暴れるわよね。シンジを返せば見逃してくれるかな、これ。
Problem is after that, I guess it would go on a rampage if its heart got taken. Would it let me go if I give Shinji back? She slowly goes outside while staring at the tentacle blocking her way. But there's no exit. The tentacles are already blocking the way out of the lake. Even if she were to escape, the tentacles that are trying to wrap around her and swallow her whole, she wouldn't be able to break through the part that has become a wall.
まず力が。
My strength. She almost falls along with Shinji and holds out with all her might. Going past the cursed sea and crossing the floating island of meat, she even performed neurosurgery to separate Shinji Mato from the lump of meat. Neurosurgery? God damn. At that point, the girl's magical energy had even broken into the reverse tank that she had not used for a long time.
もうあのバカ。遠慮なしで人の魔力持ってくんだから。おかげでこっちはもうすっからかんじゃない。
Ah, idiot, taking my magical energy without hesitation. Thanks to that, I'm all out. She bears the dizziness as she complains. Of course she didn't mean it, she was just saying that. Besides, things wouldn't change even if she had magical energy left. The tentacles surrounding the girl have stopped because their prey is docile. Once they figure out that the thing that has invaded the body is poisonous, they take immediate action. Rin Tosaka and Shinji Mato are alive because she does not have enough magical energy left for them to prey on.
けどここまでかな。いい加減立ってるのも辛く。
But I guess this is it. It's getting hard to even stay standing. Her vision goes hazy. Although she is able to get a foothold, it does not change how she is still on mud. Heat is encroaching on her nerves by the second. She falls onto the platform of meat. She herself will become the core for the Holy Grail in this time. Before that,
ごめんねセイバー。言うこと聞かないだろうから無理やり聞かせる。
sorry Saber, I'm sure you won't listen to me, so I'll make you obey. There's one command spell left. That is enough to make Saber, standing by on the opposite shore, use a sacred sword.
あとあんたにも謝っとかないと。
I also have to apologize to you too.
シンジ助けられなか。
I couldn't save Shinji.
いいから走れ。そのような泣き言、聞く耳持たん。
Just run. I don't want to hear such whining. The body that's about to collapse stops. That voice. Are the thoughts coming to her mind instead of her ears? Also the servant that she had made a contract with? There's no time to be bewildered. She knows his personality well. He told her to run, so he must have done something that she wouldn't be able to escape from if she didn't run. She runs through. The arrows that rain from the sky are like a downpour. She smashes everything that gets in her way, whether it's a net platform or tentacles of meat. There's no time to look back. She runs through with all her might while carrying Shinji Mato. She jumps into the lake. The arrows have swept away for her escape route. In just a short time, the black mud is repelled and only dirty water leads to the shore. She runs across the lake while carrying Shinji Mato. She runs to the shore, soaking wet with a latent energy that shocks even her. Please, Saber! The magical energy replies to the screaming voice. There's no need to check. The golden sword is raised with overwhelming firepower, most on everything in its sight. The mountain of meat is cut in half and collapses. The black mud evaporates, and the band of light changes the lake itself into a flat wasteland. It's a rapid stream of light that illuminates everything. In the midst of that, the swordsman accepted the end of her battle.
これで終わり。私の戦いはここまでです。
This is the end. This is it for my battle. What was that addressed to? The wielder of a sacred sword goes to her knees and gazes at the light with a flood of emotions. The crumbling Holy Grail. The thing that she sought. The thing that was supposed to save her. She destroyed it with her own hands. And the King of Knights finally realized her mistake. One boy and one hero. That man who had become twisted at the end of his ideal that he held for a long time was still a boy. His regrets are so heavy that they cannot be carried. And his sins are so deep that they cannot be atoned for. But there was something that he did not give up on. At the very end, the Knight in Red has reached an answer that no one can affect. Then she has to move forward as well. In her last moment, wounded, she took her hands off her sword. She will run past that hill with her own will. The victory is complete. The contract is complete. Victory is yours, Rin. The sacred sword fades. There's still magical energy left. She can stay in this world if she pushes herself. If possible, she wanted to watch over what awaits them until the end. However, that is not my role. Shirou has Rin. The knight's body continues to fade until it vanishes, engulfed by the light. Like a grateful gust of wind, the king who sought the Holy Grail set off her over a hill of destiny without leaving a single memory behind. Match that repeated attacks from the longsword with the longsword. A match repeated attacks, so the sword offset each other, and the fragments are sent flying into the atmosphere. Hey, don't! The handle of a curved sword appears behind him. Get ahead of yourself, kid! But I'm faster. I pull out the curved sword at his feet and swing it straight at him. Gilgamesh retreats. I close the distance at once, pull out the sword and slash at him. Why? Why am I losing to this mongrel swords? I match my sword to the rapid succession of noble phantasms. I'm not thinking. My body and mind will stop if I stop. I will keep moving forward now. The instant I see his noble phantasm, I reel in that same one that I have at hand, and strike him down with all my might. Possible? Am I being cornered by such a shame? The sound of clashing swords echoes through the area. He cannot handle my attacks and has to destroy my weapons with his. That will be the cause of his defeat. Having over 1,000 noble phantasms, he is the greatest heroic spirit without a doubt. But he's no more than an owner. He is not a wielder who only has one noble phantasm, but is able to use that to its fullest potential. If my opponent was another servant, I would not be able to match him even if I made a word like this. Even if I have infinite swords, I can't beat an enemy who has a single ultimate so noble phantasm. I'm sure Gilgamesh would be able to, but I don't have enough physical ability to. Therefore, the only servant that I can close in on is this man. If we have the same ability and are both owners, I go and step ahead of him, since I already have swords prepared.
おのれおのれおのれおのれおのれおのれおのれおのれ貴様風情によもや俺の剣を使うことになろうとは
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I did not think I would have to use my swords against someone like you. Gilgamesh raises his arm. The hilt that appears behind him is that demonic sword, the only sword that does not exist in this world. Won't let you. I swing my twin swords. I immediately draw Kanshun Bakuya and cut off his arm as I reach for his magical sword. As it reaches for his magical sword. The weapons come to halt. He loses his best sword and is left completely defenseless. My body acts before I can think. With victory assured, my arms and legs drive me into the King of Heroes space, even more sharply to slice his body in two. He jumps back. Gilgamesh retreats, barely dodging my twin swords.
今はお前が強い
At this moment you are stronger than me. Gilgamesh admits his defeat and tries to retreat. I am not letting you get away. I lose if he regains his composure. I have to settle this match at this moment, before his heat cools down. Bastard. He must have realized that he wouldn't be able to escape, as he pulls out an old phantasm from behind him with his remaining arm. But I'm faster. Meanwhile, I surely... Huh?
何
What? Our voices overlap. That change is instant. A flash of light coming from the lake illuminates the Hill of Swords. The massive magical energy wiped away the already disappearing reality marble. That's fine. The match is settled. I can defeat the servant just by swinging the twin swords. But after that, a black hole. A round void big enough to swallow a human whole appears before me, on Gilgamesh's body. Gilgamesh looks down at his own body, appalled. His body is being swallowed. Golden Servant is being swallowed up by the hole that has opened inside him. Did he want to say wait? Void mercilessly swallows the servant. There's no way for him to escape. The void was opened in his own body after all. There's no way he can escape from something that is in his body. What was that? I stand there dumbfounded. The void in front of me gets smaller by the moment. I don't know what this is, but it seems like Tosaka and Saber were able to destroy the Holy Grail. Only guess is that this black void appeared from that effect and he vanished. Is it because he was created by that Holy Grail? And now it is gone, he has no anchor left? Or something like that in this world? Phew. Anyways, now everything is over. The twin sword disappear. Magical energy occupying my body rapidly fades. And at the same time... Oh, shoot. Fatigue assails me. Damn, this is bad. I can't walk. I want to go see how Tosaka is doing right away, but my body won't move. Well, I'm sure she's doing fine since Saber went to her. Right, I guess. I can rest a bit. And the moment I take a deep breath. What? A chain wraps around my arm. I have forgotten this. It's crazy how I don't remember the ending. Oh my god. My breath stops. The chain that mercilessly wrapped around my arm pulls me towards the black hole. I put strength into my limbs, but I can't resist at all. My feet slide towards the void along with the very ground that they are planted on.
あの出来損ないめ、同じサーバントでは核にならんとさえわからぬか。
That fool does not even know that servants cannot become the core. The thing crawling from the void was definitely him. But that body was melted here and there. It's melted here and there. The void must melt anything it swallows. You little... I try to pull the chain off me, but it doesn't budge. The chain restrained even Berserker. It's not something that I can take off, no matter how hard I try. I'm getting drawn in. I'll be swallowed like him if I go near that void. Damn, you're trying to take me with you?
たわけ、死ぬつもりなど毛頭ないわ。
You fool. I have no intention of dying.
踏みとどまれゲロー。俺がその場に戻るまでな。
Stay right there until I pull myself out, you lowlife. You... So arrogant, even in that situation, in a situation like this. Damn. But what should I do? I can't get the chain off no matter what I do. I fall into the void along with him like this. Even if I hold out, he pulls himself out then. It means I'm going to die either way. Then I'll take you with me. Oh, bullshit, I'm not going that easily. That sounds definitely like an option I shouldn't take. The first one. So, you know me. As probably the last option for the Tiger Dojo in this route, we're going to take it and see what happens to break your immersion. If I'm going to die either way, I can't let him escape. Screw you! I wrap the chain further around my arm. Unlike before, I grab onto the chain so that it won't let me go. Don't ever go back to this world again. Without resisting, I throw myself into the black hole. Are you insane? I roll down, fall into the endless darkness while my body is being melted. Black mud mercilessly eats into my body. My body is stripped off and I fall into the deep darkness just as the soul known as Shirou. It might be because the fall is so long. After it begins to feel as if I'm going up instead of falling down. I'm swallowed into the black grey like sun. Ooh. It's kind of like in Sacred Order. In the first, at the end of the first Singularity. Where the director of Chaldea gets sucked into the black hole. Man, that scene was sad. So, beyond here lies the Tiger Dojo. Would you like to seek advice? Of course. Is it an ending like that again? Idiot Shirou, what is called? You. We took it from Sonic. What the hell, you idiot?
ショック。まさかこのタイガー道場を見る強者がおろうとは。
This is a shock. I didn't think there was a soldier watching this Tiger Dojo.
おお、シロー、死んでしまうとは情けない。
Ah, Shirou, how pathetic of you to die.
アドバイスなどありません。
I have no advice to give.
急いで選択肢に戻って最後の決着をつけちゃいなさい。
Quickly, go back to the other choice and settle the match once and for all. Huh?
みんな元気？
Hi there, how is everyone?
タイガがいなくなった隙にフェイとちょっといい話。
My tiger's gone. I have some fate. Full good news.
みんなリンルートのグッドエンドの生き方すっごくわかりづらくて困ってるよね。
I bet everyone's having a real hard time on to how to get into Ridden's good end, right?
ここはそんなあなたのためのヒントコーナーです。
Well, this segment is all about giving you some hints on that.
今回は特別に先輩をお呼びしました。
As a special guest, I have called over our senpai Rin.
先輩、ズバリどうやったらグッドエンドに行けるんでしょうか？
Senpai, how exactly can players get to the good end?
3日目夜に連れ戻す。
Bring her back on the third night? Wait a second. Don't tell me. What was the third night? Night 1 is here. 1, 2... 3? Huh? Shit. Uh-oh. First night? Second night? It's a third night. No, I just heard I'm working with Rin. Can't say for sure. Yes, that wasn't something about taking Rin home, was it? Or was it a different night? Yeah. No, that's just summoning Saber. That's the ambush on Caster. That's way past the third night. Maybe I'm just getting mixed up or something. Let's continue.
5日目朝に様子を見る。
See how she's doing on the morning of the 5th.
8日目放課後に喜ばせる。
Make her happy after school on the 8th day. Bring her back on the third night. Sorry. Your immersion is completely broken right now and I don't care. It's the 8th day? I just hope I have a good ending.
10日目夜に道場で話し、
Talk to her at the dojo on the 10th night.
15日目夜に道場。
Go to the dojo on the 15th night.
素張りすぎっす先輩。
That's really specific, senpai.
これを全部抑えればいいんすね。
So we have to do all that?
ダメ。抑えるのは4つ。
Oh, you only have to do 4 of them.
うち2つばかり選ばなくていいのが混ざっている。
Out of which 2 are necessary.
セイバーにかまけてると12日目を超えられない。
You won't be able to get past the 12th day if you're too preoccupied with Saber. That one, before you go against Caster, I think.
ありがとうございました。
Ma'am, yes ma'am, thank you for the
そういう
advice.
ことらしいんで、余裕があったら3日目からやり直してみてね。
So, there you have it. If you have the time, go ahead and go back all the way from the 3rd day. Yeah, ciao. Yeah. Let's get back into the action. Bullshit. I'm not going that easily. I feel dizzy. My body can't hold out any longer. I'm going to die. I can't endure it in the very end. Then, if I can't endure it anyways, should I loosen up? If I do so, I should at least be able to push him back into the void. No, don't underestimate me. I wanted to take me with you. I re-energize my weakening limbs. Will my arms tear off first? Will his chains rip off first? Or will he crawl out first? It doesn't matter. I fight until the very end and die a flashy death.
お前の勝手だが、その前に右に置けろ。
You can do as you wish, or dodge to the right before that. Huh? I turn around immediately. I look at the temple ground in the distance, which has become a wasteland. Something flies by, as if brushing past me.
貴様。あーちゃ。
The chain comes off. In the end, looking in this like he saw something unexpected, he lets go of a chain of the heavens. I fall on my butt. The void shrinks to the size of a palm and vanishes as I look up dumbfounded. It was unable to even stand. I look at the wasteland behind me. Dawn is near. The one with the rising sun behind him is the knight wearing a red cloak. What a show-off. I subconsciously complain, but I can't help but smile happily. Well, I have nothing I want to say, so I keep quiet so that I can't sleep. The golden ground that became a wasteland. Seeing the knight stand there and Tosaka running to him, I lie down on the ground. Tosaka should say everything I want to say to him on my behalf. So I sleep for now. I'm sure we'll end up fighting if we see each other again. And I'm not used to saying farewell to myself. And for the final time, I engrave my ideal into my mind so that I won't forget it and slowly close my eyes. The ground that he stands on is similar to the wasteland that I saw before. There's nothing around. There's nothing extra on the summit, where everything was blown away. The battle has ended. The battle for the Holy Grail has ended. And the curtain is about to fall on this battle as well. On his battle as well. He doesn't know how long it was. But the accumulated wish that should have bound him forever is gone now. The end quickly permeates into him and melts this era version of his body. He looks towards the voice calling him. The girl must not have the spare energy to run, but she runs to him, breathing unsteadily. He quietly watches her. The girl that ran up to him looks up at the night, still breathing unsteadily. The red cloak, flowing in the wind, shows no trace of what it used to be. It is torn everywhere, and his armor is cracked and broken. His existence is weak. The knight that stands still with haughtiness, just like the time they first met, starts to disappear from his feet up. Dawn approaches in the distance. The golden sun rises faintly from the horizon.
残念だったな。そういうわけだ。今回の聖杯は諦めろ、リン。
Too bad. Well, that's what happened. Give up the Holy Grail this time, Rin. Does he not have anything special to say? Red Knight says a trivial thing like that. It gets the girl all the more. With that body that was about to disappear, the night was the same night as before. An ally that she trusted and ran through the night with, who had her back while making sarcastic remarks. She can declare that those memories were fun, looking back at them. And they are still in front of her, unchanged. He remained to save her at the last moment. He lost his master and withstood the noble phantasm of the King of Heroes. His body was disappearing, but he didn't ask for help and watched over their battle. An end is in front of her. I can't think of what she should say. It is what always like that for her, at the most crucial times. She loses her quick-wittedness when she needs it the most. The knight smiled slightly. He knew that from the start. The girl, clumsiness is a memory more fond than anything from the knight in red.
何よ、こんな時だってのに笑うことないじゃない。
What? Now's not the time to be laughing. She looks up at the knight, annoyed.
いや、失礼。君の姿があんまりにもあれなものでね。
Oh, sorry. It's just the way you look.
お互い、よくもここまでボロボロになったと呆れたのだ。
I was just stunned at how worn out we both look. He still has a smile, even as he banters. She gets a lump in her throat from seeing his face free of regret. She wonders if it's okay. The moment she wonders if it's okay for him to disappear like this.
あーちゃん、もう一度私と契約して。
Archer, form a contract with me again. She says those words, but she shouldn't say.
それはできない。リンがサイバーと契約を続けるのかは知らないが、私にその権利はないだろう。
I cannot do that. I do not know if you plan to continue your contract with Saber, but I do not have a right to.
それにもう目的がない。私の戦いはここで終わりだ。
And I have no objective anymore. My battle ends here. His answer has no doubts, and his will is pure. His face is as bright as the sunrise, and how can she force him when he's making a face like that?
けどそれじゃ
But then
あんたはいつまで経っても
you will never be saved. The girl swallows her words and looks down. It is not something the girl should say, and it wouldn't be granted even if she kept the night in this world.
参ったな。この世に未練はないが。
I'm troubled. I don't have any attachment to this world, but it's troubling to have this girl cry. For him, the girl always has to be positive, realistic, and indulgent. He was always encouraged by her. That's why he wanted this girl to be here, her usual self until the very end.
リン。
The girl looks up at the sound of his voice. Her face, trying to hold back the tears, is adorable. Rather than expressing the slight attachment that he feels, he looks at the collapsed boy in the distance.
私を頼む。知っての通り、頼りないやつだからな。
Please take care of me. I'm an unreliable guy, as you know.
君が支えてやってくれ。
Please, support me. The knight says objectively. Those are words of farewell. The future might change. If a girl like her stays by Shirou Emiya's side, then the hero named Emiya will not be born. His distant words contain such hope.
じゃあ
But even if that were to happen, even then, the Knight in Red that already exists will forever be a guardian. He and the boy are different existences. They only have the same starting point, and he was an illusion that the boy dreamt of. There's no salvation available for this knight anymore. There's nothing more to give him. He has already died and became a phenomenon. The girl nods in spite of that. Because she cannot give him anything, she gives him the biggest smile in the end. He asks her to take care of him, in order to answer the trust that he put in her.
分かってる。私頑張るから。あんたみたいにひねくれたやつにならないよう頑張るから。きっとあいつが自分を好きになれるように頑張るから。
Yeah, I know. I do my best. I do my best so he won't become twisted like you. I do my best so that he'll be able to like himself.
だからあんたも。
So you should too. Forgive yourself. He doesn't put it into words. The girl looks up at the disappearing knight with a lot of emotions. How much salvation did that bring? After engraving the girl's smile into his memory with pride,
答えは得た。大丈夫だよ、遠坂。俺もこれから頑張っていくから。
I got my answer. It's alright, Tosaka. I do my best from now on too. A breeze. The knight finally rests his wounded body without waiting for the girl's reply.
んだ。結局文句言い損ねちゃったじゃない。
I didn't get to complain to you after all. She wipes her tears as they well up and says to the man who's no longer there. That voice. is invigorated and she regains her usual straightforwardness. Stout-heartedness, sorry. It's only natural. She doesn't have the time to be down after he made a face like that. She says farewell to a wasteland where the night stood, and the girl runs down to the collapsed boy. In the golden sunlight, his smile, as he disappeared, was just like the boys from the past. Epilogue. Ooh. Sometimes I recall that sword fight. The spark of the clashing swords, bustling intense spirit. Many attacks were an experience, not something that one could call a sword dance. We were both clumsy and didn't know how to know of retreat. The ridiculous sound of swords were annoying and I have no memory of them. At that time, I had lost an answer and found an answer at the same time. A pulse and a minus makes zero, a plus and a minus makes zero. Nothing has changed after all. He's him, and I'm me. I'm just dreaming of his fading memories. It's only been a month, but it already feels so nostalgic. It feels like it happened so long ago. The memory of it is fading day by day, and I can't even remember what the person I was fighting looked like. It also can't be helped. It was something that was impossible from the start. It's not like either of us would believe that the fight would change anything. We just try to attack our own shadow to ascertain ourselves. That's why there was nothing we would gain from winning. Something like that has been stuck from the start and won't go away. It's the end if you lose, and there's no prize if you win. Man, it really didn't pay off. But I can't stay. But I can still recall it if I close my eyes. The echoing sound of unrefined metals. A distant and blinding sword fight that did not know of retreat. It was our belief that clashed with each other. I opened my own ideal to carry out my hope. The outcome is still undecided. I don't know which one remained. Which one remained. It should be a while until the answer comes out. An illusion like a mirage that disappears if one turns around. Just using the reverberation as a guide, my feet will eventually reach this place. Hey, wake up, you fool!
みな集会に向かったぞ。学校に来ていながらボイコットするつもりか貴様。
Everyone left for the assembly. Are you planning to boycott even though you are at school? My body is being shaken. Voice brings my sleeping mind back to reality. Wait, why are you here? I lift my face up from my desk and stare at my classmate's face.
なぜなどない。ここは教室で。今日は2年最後の日で。時刻は終業式10分前だ。
Why? This is our classroom. Today is our last day of being second years, and this is And it's 10 minutes before end of the term assembly.
姿が見えぬからもしやと探しに来れば本当に居眠りしていると呆れたぞ。
I came to look for you, but since I didn't see you, but I didn't think you would just actually be sleeping. I don't know if he's panicking or if he's mad, but it's rare for Ase to be yelling. It is only Ase and me in the classroom. It's 9:50 a.m. End of term assembly is for 10 a.m. So everyone must be gone to the gymnasium.
もしきちんと目が覚めているか、エミヤ。
Hello, are you really awake, Emiya? Yeah, I'm completely awake now, thanks, Issei. I'm glad you came to wake me up.
わかればよろしい。だが礼は後だ。急がねば間に合わん。
Yeah, it's fine, if you understand. But thank me later. We won't make it unless we hurry.
お前と俺が欠席とあっては、藤村先生がどんな暴れっぷりを示すか見当もつかんからな。
I can't even imagine what kind of rampage Miss Fujimura will go on if she finds out we're not there. Got it. I can't face my classmates if she gives us ridiculous amounts of homework before vacation. I make sure to calm Fujine down.
頼むぞ。これ以上宿題が増えれば、皆に顔向けができないどころか、間違いなく呪われる。
Yeah, I'm counting on you. Forget facing our classmates. We'll definitely be cursed if we get even more homework. That's a scary way to put it, but it's frightening how it's the truth. Last summer, the amount of extra homework we got after we made Fujine mad was insane. It wasn't even English homework. I don't know what she was thinking when she told us to enter some competition anywhere in the country and win a medal.
エミヤ、急げと言っておろうが。
Yeah, I'm telling you to hurry. Sorry, I'm coming. We should hurry to the gymnasium for now. It takes 3 minutes if we run from here to the gymnasium. We should be able to get there 5 minutes before if no teacher finds us.
いや、それはダメだ。
No.
廊下を走るのはいかん。
No, we can't run in the hallway. That was naive of me. And as expected of a student council president, he's really committed as he is still following the rules, even in this situation. That's honorable of you, Issei, but we won't make it if we walk.
走らぬ程度に急ごう。何 ?1 分前だろうが何だろうが、間に合いさえすれば言い訳は立つ。
Let's us hurry without running. Even if it's a minute before, we can make an excuse as long as we get there on time. I nod and we walk faster. It's mid-March, but the sky that I see out of the window is amazingly blue. Ryuki City has long winters, but it seems like spring is finally around the corner. Days went by quickly. It's been a month since the Holy Grail War, and the town is back to the normal Ryuki City. The Holy Grail was destroyed, and most of the damage caused by the Masters was taken care of by the church. The person that came to substitute for Kire Kotomina was old, but energetic, and everything was settled efficiently. But the traces of the war are still left here and there. Toichiro Kurozuki, who chose to fight as a master, is considered missing. Issei was sad that Kurozuki, whom he respected as an older brother, was gone, but...
元からひょろりと寺に現れたゆえ、去る時もこんなものだろう。
He suddenly showed up at the temple to start with. It's only fitting that he leaves the same way. He just laughed it off. But what surprised me was Fujine. Since he turns out that they often drank tea together. What? She confessed that she wanted to have a match with him at least once. So it's like she saw him through the fact that Kuzuki was a master of martial arts. Shinji's life was saved by Tosaka, and he currently is in the hospital. Apparently the hospital is part of a major association, and his body is recovering. Sakura is busy visiting Shinji, so she's been showing up only on the weekends this past month. I went to go snoop on them once, but we were getting along so well that I thought I was seeing things. I don't know if whatever was possessing him went away from that incident, or if he's just unenergetic from the wounds. Either way, the Shinji that I saw being taken care of by Sakura was sarcastic but sincere, and he's acting more like Shinji the Shinji that I first met. Saber's not here anymore. After she destroyed the Holy Grail, she left this world as a servant. The moment she destroyed the Holy Grail with her own hands, she must have been released from whatever was binding her. It's frustrating that I didn't get to say goodbye, but I should be glad that she's released from her fixation on the Holy Grail. If I'm able to see her again, I want to thank her as much as I can. And finally, the most important person.
遠坂
We get down to the first floor and are on our way to the corridor towards the gymnasium.
あら生徒会長、こんな時に校舎の見回り？それとも各部室の手入れかしら？毎度のことで言い飽きたけど、そういうところ本当にマメなのね。
Oh, Mr. President, are you patrolling the building at this time? Or are you taking care of each classroom? I'm getting tired of saying this each time, but you really are diligent. We run into the one representing the student at the assembly instead of the student council president, and she comes out of the teacher's office.
こちらもその言い回しには飽き飽きだ。たまには違う憶測を立ててみろ。
I'm also tired of hearing that line. Try guessing something else for once.
それとも貴様、よもやわざと繰り返しているのではあるまいな。
Or do you keep saying that on purpose? Issei glares at Tosaka.
そんなの当たり前じゃない。何？今まで気づいてなかったの、竜斗くん？
Huh? Oh, of course it was on purpose. What? Did you just realize that, Ryudo?
そうなんだ。もう少しユーモアのある人だと思ったけど、本当に堅物だったのね。
See, I thought you had a bit more of sense of humor, but you really are a blockhead.
ごめんなさい。今まで親愛の情を込めて同じ挨拶をしていたけど、あなたには分かりづらかったんですね。
I'm sorry, I always use the same greeting to show my affection for you, but I guess it was hard for you to understand.
何が親愛だ。お前に向けられる親愛など覚えがない。行くぞエミヤ。ネギツネに構っていては式に遅れる。
What do you mean by affection? I don't remember ever showing you ever showing me affection. Hey, come on, Emiya. We'll be late if we concern ourselves with this vixen. Issei sure doesn't get along with Tosaka. Well, I feel the same way, so I'm in no position to feel any sympathy. And our eyes meet as I pass Tosaka. We decide that we would act normally when there are others around. I naturally ignore Tosaka and follow Issei. However,
おはよう、エミヤくん。今朝も元気そうで嬉しいわ。
good morning, Emiya. I'm glad you seem well this morning too. I don't know what she didn't like, but she embraces my arm and puts on a big smile. So my mind goes blank. We had been seeing each other every day, but this is the first time we have touched each other like this in a month. Tosaka, desperately tried not to blush and resist Tosaka's touch.
冗談よ。けど嬉しいのは本当よ、エミヤくん。
I'm joking, but it's true that I'm glad, Emiya.
そうだ。式が終わって生徒会の手伝いが済んだら一緒に帰りましょう。私、あなたが来るまでずっと教室で待ってるから。
Oh, let's go home together once you finish helping out with student council. After the assembly, keep on waiting for you in my classroom. Tosaka puts emphasis on keep on waiting.
何を口にするか貴様。とっととその腕を離さんか。
What are you saying? Let go of him already.
何って竜道くんには関係ないでしょ。
It has nothing to do with you, Ryodo.
それじゃあ失礼。生徒会長に代わって挨拶をしなくちゃいけないから私も忙しいの。
Well, if you excuse me, I'm also busy since I have to make a speech in place of a student council president. Tosaka leaves with the noisy footsteps of a victor.
どういうことだエミヤ。
What's going on, Emiya?
貴様、あのメギツネとどういう関係だ。
What's your relationship with that vixen? Well, it's hard to explain. First of all, I think I told you before that we became acquaintances.
そんなものは1ヶ月も前の話だろう。悪いことは言わんから手を切れと忠告したはずだ。そうか。弱みだな。あいつに弱みを握られたのか、エミヤ。
It was a month ago. I want you to do yourself a favor and cut ties with her. Oh, I get it. Does she know your weakness? Well, I guess you could call it a weakness.
やはりそうか。
I knew it.
くそ、己遠ざか。もはや捨ておけん。さあ、相談しろエミヤ。今すぐ白状しろエミヤ。二人で手を合わせて、今日こそあのメギツネに仏罰を下してやるのだ。
Damn it, I cannot let you go now, Tosaka. Console me, Emiya. Confess, Emiya. Let's pray that the Buddha will give that vixen her the due punishment. This shakes my shoulders. Look at the time, you say. The assembly is starting.
みじんも構わん。
I do not care.
どうせ初めは気圧のざれ言。少々遅れた方が精神衛生上よかろう。
It starts with that vixen speech anyway. It will be mentally good for us to be a little late. The student council president is still shaking my shoulders. He says usually calm, but he's a different person when it involves Tosaka. Tosaka must be his natural enemy, but sorry, Issei, I feel bad letting you down, but I can't do anything about Tosaka. She beat me instead if I go beat her. Do yourself a favor and don't go near her.
エミヤにしては後ろ向きな発言。まさか、それほどの弱みを握られているというのか。
It's rare for you to be so negative. Is the weakness that she knows about that bad? Unfortunately, so I'm leaving it to you to deal with Tosaka. I'm sure it'd be a tough fight, but please do your best on my behalf.
そうか、わかった。安心しろエミヤ。より良い学園生活のためだ。何としても遠坂の化けの皮を剥いで失脚させる。
I see. Alright. Don't worry, Emiya. For a better school life, I shall do whatever it takes to reveal Tosaka's true identity and bring her about her downfall.
メギツネめ、運動系の部活動を束ねて何やら企んでいるようだが、あと1年もすれば生徒会も盤石だ。本当の勝負はそれからよ。
The Vixen seems to be scheming something with the athletics clubs, but the student council will be solid as rock in a year. The real match starts then. The student council president laughs furiously. Oh, but Issei... Well, we'll be all graduating in a year. The end of term assembly ends, and the school starts to calmly lose its liveliness. Spring break has started. Most of the students have left with a smile, and the athletics clubs are already starting their training camps today. There aren't that many students left in the building. All the classrooms are empty, and all that's left is the hallway in the redness from the sunset.
やっと終わったわね。一世のやつ、最後までシローに手伝わせるんだもの。あれ、絶対嫌がらせよ。
So you're finally done, huh? Yes, it really makes you help until the very end. I'm sure that is his way of getting back at me. An empty classroom. Tosaka smiles and says so as soon as she sees me in the 2A classroom, tinted by the sunset. You idiot, it's because you did that ridiculous thing. I would have been released earlier if I had not used anything unnecessary. If you had not said anything unnecessary. I enter the classroom complaining. I wonder why I feel so restless in other classrooms, even though they look all the same.
何よ、私のせいだって言うの、シローは。
What? Are you saying it's all my fault, Shirou? Half of it's definitely you. Look, you're the one who said we should act like strangers until we are 30 years. It should be weird if we suddenly get close. So why did you do such a thing?
今日で2年も終わるんだから、ちょっとぐらいフライングしてもいいじゃない。
Today's our last days of being second years, so it should be fine if I get a bit of a head start.
だいたいね、無視するにしたって他に方法があるでしょ。
First of all, there are other ways to ignore me.
昼休みにすれ違うのならいざ知らず、私たちしかいなかったんだから、目配せの一つぐらいするのが筋ってものよ。
Maybe it's fine to do so if we pass by each other during lunch break, but you should have at least acknowledged me, since we are the only ones there. I don't know what she's so upset about, but Tosaka complains while looking the other way. It's because of the classroom during the sunset? The gesture I'm used to seeing looks so fresh and cute that it makes me admire her. Jeez. Yeah, I got this. But do you want it? I offer the orange juice pack that it's distributed to students who help clean up.
もらうもらう。やった。シロってこういうところは気が利くのよね。
Oh yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, you're so thoughtful when it comes to stuff like this. She accepts the juice pack and takes a sip out of her straw. She's sitting by the window. Tosaka is looking down at the campus, as if looking at something bright. I follow her example and look down at the campus while sipping. It must be the track team running. Our athletics department is really lively, even though it's spring break starting tomorrow.
ねえ、エミヤくん。昔陸上部にいなかった？
Hey, weren't you on the track team before, Emiya? Then, Tosaka suddenly asked me something strange. Track team? No, I was always in the archery club.
そっか。まあ、そういうこともあるわよね。夕焼け見てたら思い出しちゃった。
I see. Well, I guess some people are like that. Seeing the sunset just reminded me. Telling me to forget about it, Tosaka sips on her orange juice. I'll forget it if she tells me to. When she calls me Emiya instead of Shirou, half of the time she's making a sarcastic remark, and the other half is when she's saying something important. I'm sure this one was the latter. After a month of a grueling Magecraft course, I'm starting to finally notice Tosaka's habits.
にしても、あっという間だったな。
But time sure does fly by.
聖杯戦争が終わって、シローが私に弟子入りしてもう1ヶ月か。なんか、この分じゃ1年なんてすぐに過ぎ去るわね。
It's already been a month since the Holy Grey War ended. and you became an apprentice. At this rate, I'm sure a year will fly by as well. It's been a month since I started learning magecraft from Tosaka in hopes of becoming stronger. I've been putting in hard work and tossed around by Tosaka's malicious nature, so it was a whirlwind, but it went by quickly. This past month seems long, but felt fast. So then, a year might go by as quick as spring break. A year, huh? You'll be leaving school by that time.
そうね。この教室は今日限りの教室で、4月になったら新しい教室になる。それと同じで、1年後には違う場所に行くことになるんでしょうね。
Yeah, today would be our last time in this classroom. And we'll be in a new classroom starting from April. Just like that, we'll be going to another place a year from now. Tosaka holds her knees and blankly looks out in the window, still looking down at the campus. Another place, huh? I wonder what I'll be doing when I graduate a year from now. No, I don't even have to think about it. What I must do doesn't change. I just need to make my idea come true, just like he believed. Well, and I have one other goal that's just as big right now, but I don't want to think about it too much since it's irritating.
ねえ、エミヤ君は卒業したらどうするの？やっぱりお父さんの後を継ぐの？
Hey, Emiya, what are you going to do once you graduate? Are you going to succeed your father after all? Well, yeah, but more than succeeding my father, I want to become a proper mage already. Or else I won't look cool, right?
へえ、かっこつかないって誰に？
Oh, what are you trying to look cool for? This is it. In other words, the other goal is to make her admit defeat. It doesn't matter anyways, my biggest priority is to become a proper mage. So that's why I've become your apprentice. Please, look after me for one more year.
あら、ずいぶんと強気ね。あと1年で一人前になろうだなんて。私、10年ぐらいは覚悟して師匠役を引き受けたんだけど。そっか、エミヤ君はあと1年でいいんだ。
Oh, you are rather confident trying to become a proper mage in just 1 year. I took over the role as mentor bracing myself for at least 10 years. But you are fine with just 1 more year, huh? 10 years? I appreciate it, but no, that's not what I meant. That's a really long way ahead. Wouldn't you get tired too?
別に、エミヤ君の目標が一人前になることと同じで、私のしたいこともあなたを早く一人前にすることだもの。頭の中じゃちゃんと計画立ってるわよ。なんなら紙にして渡そっか。
Not really. Just like your goal is to become a proper mage, my goal is also to make you a proper mage. I have it all planned out in my head, you know? Do you want me to write it out for you? That's... I couldn't ask for more, but...
けど、それも無理かな。エミヤ君、お父さんの後を継ぐんでしょ？なら卒業した後もずっとこの町にいるってことよね。
But I guess that's impossible. You're going to succeed your father, right? And that means you're staying in this town after you graduate. Yeah, well, what about you? Your family supervises Fuyuki, right? Doesn't that mean you can't leave this town either?
私は卒業したらロンドンに行くけど。
Me? I'm going to London once I graduate.
今回の件で魔術協会から推薦も取ったし、試験なしで入学させてくれるらしいわ。
I was able to get a recommendation from a Mages Association from this incident, so they're admitting me without any exams. What you mean that London? The headquarters of a Mages Association?
ええ。冬季の街じゃ限界があるし、5年ぐらいは時計塔で勉強しようかなって。
Yes, there's a limit to what I can do in Fuyuki. So I'm thinking of studying at the clock tower for about 5 years.
父さんもそうだったって言うし、魔術師として一人前になりたいなら最高学府に行くのは当然じゃない？
I heard my father did the same thing. So isn't it natural to go to the most prestigious educational institution if I want to become a proper mage? I'm surprised. It's so sudden that my eyes get wide and my head becomes empty. For Tosaka, who is legitimate mage, that much is natural. I finally realized the difference in our positions that I hadn't thought about until now. London, huh? That's really impressive, right?
それは微妙じゃないかしら。
I'm not sure about that.
悔しいけど私本人の力を認められての正体じゃないわ。父さんの功績もあるし、今回の件だって単に最後まで残ったからだし。
It's vexing, but they didn't invite me because they acknowledged my individual powers. I was only invited because of my father's accomplishments, and because I was the last one standing. He says it casually, but it must be impressive after all. But London, huh? That's indeed a bit too far. And just like my old man, who wasn't a part of a mages association, I'm also not good with formal stuff like that.
でもそれを言うならエミヤ君にだって資格はあるわ。私が推薦すれば入学試験ぐらいは受けさせてもらえると思うけど。
But you also have the qualifications in that case. If I recommend you, I'm sure they would at least let you take the entrance exam. But I might be able to move there at least. I can start working more, study English, save up enough for the flight to Britain, and about a month's worth of living expenses and find a job over there.
エミヤ君にとって教会は敵地だから乗り気はしないだろうけど、時計塔ならちゃんとした道具も揃ってるし、修行には持ってこいよ。
I know you're not enthusiastic since the association is enemy territory for you, but the clock tower has the power, proper equipment, and great environment a great environment for training.
ああ、でも固有結界は秘密にしないとダメだから、あくまで基礎力の試験になるのか。ああ、1年で足りるかな、時間。
Oh, but you have to keep your reality marble a secret, so I guess they'll test your basics. Man, would 1 year be enough? No, even if I hypothetically rented an apartment there. I don't know what kind of place the clock tower is, but I'm sure Tosaka will get even busier. In that case, I should study on my own and go see her once we become a proper mage. Yeah, that's right. First of all, London isn't even suited for me. I bet I'll faint if I go there. And it's filled with people like Kotomine.
ちょっと、人の話聞いてる？エミヤ君。
Hey, are you listening, Emir? Did you say something, Tosaka? Tosaka goes quiet with a clouded expression. Then, as she takes a deep breath with a serious
言
expression.
い忘れてたんだけど、私は遠坂の後継者として招かれてるの。つまり、一人前の魔術師としてちゃんとした一人部屋をもらえるってこと。
I forgot to mention this, but I'm getting invited as the successor of the Tosaka family. In other words, unable to get an actual room to myself as a proper mage. You say something that doesn't make sense.
だから、一人前の魔術師として認められているの。そうなると、弟子の一人や二人はいて当然でしょ？
I'm telling you that they approve of me as a proper mage. So it's natural for me to have an apprentice or two, right?
ほら、向こうじゃ派閥争いもあるって言うし、一人ぐらいは弟子を連れて行ってもいいんだって。
You know, they have factional disputes over there. So they've said I'm allowed to take at least one apprentice. Osaka glances at my face. That means... Even if I'm thick-headed, I can at least tell what Tosaka is trying to say. In other words...
そうよ。世話係としてなら、身内一人ぐらいは無条件で連れて行けるみたい。 それなら試験を受けることもないし、学費も何もかも免除になるわ。
That's right. Seems like I can take at least one person's unconditionally as an assistant. In that case, you won't have to take the exam, and you will be exempt from any tuition fees.
まあ、扱いは教会の学徒だけど、教会には属さないっていうそんな役回りになっちゃうんだけど。
Where you be at a disadvantageous position when you're a student at this association without being part of it. Color returns to my mind that went white. No, I force Color back into it and I mobilize it. What Tosaka is saying, I rack my brain and absorb myself into weighing my options that I have a year from now. It must look funny being flustered as Tosaka is giggling. What I'm being manipulated by your words. I'm not being manipulated by your words.
言いたいことはそれだけ。私はロンドンに行くけど。
That's all I have to say. I'll be going to London. She looks softly at me. Osaka looks at me with a mischievous expression.
ねえ、シローはどうするの？
So, what will you do, Shirou? She gently asked me, as if seeing through my heart. My face turns red in an instant. Her words and behavior alone blows away my trivial humility and dislike towards the association. This is what I mean by Tosaka knowing my weakness. Falling for her is a weakness that I haven't been able to deal with for a long time.
あら、突然だんまり？私、答えを聞いてないんだけどな。
Oh, you're suddenly quiet. I haven't heard your answer yet. She keeps smiling mischievously. She knows what my answer is, yet she pursues and attacks mercilessly. London is honestly too far, but I can't imagine learning Meishra from anyone other than Tosaka. And more than that, I wasn't even thinking of parting with Tosaka. Most of all, I want to be with Tosaka.
もう、大事なことなんだからはっきり聞かせなさい。
Jeez, be clear. This is important.
世話係になっちゃうけど、私と一緒に行ってくれる？
You will become my assistant, but will you come with me? Shut up, idiot. If it's so important, tell me about it in a more appropriate place. I can't answer when it's so sudden. I don't know what will happen if I stay like this, so I look away from Tosaka. I still feel her presence through my back. Tosaka happily watches me sweat.
ね、シロ、答えは？
Hey, Shirou, what's your answer? Gentle voice, like a whisper. I give up. Was it this hard just to reply and not honestly? But I can't look back at Tosaka unless I say it clearly. Idiot, don't ask me such obvious question. I look at Tosaka just with my eyes and tell her my true feelings to the best of my ability. Tosaka's smiles widens just from those words.
じゃあ、これからもよろしくね、エミヤくん。
Yeah, and I look forward to working with you from now on too, Emiya.
あなたが一人前になるまで遠慮なく鍛えてあげるから覚悟なさい。
I'm going to train you without holding back until you become a proper mage. So, brace yourself. Same here. By the way, I'm taking that seriously. I'm going to become a proper mage. So you have to look after me.
もちろん。シロを真人間にして思いっきりハッピーにするのが私の野望なんだから。ロンドンに連れてくぐらいで値を上げられちゃたまらないわ。
Of course. It's my ambition to turn you into a new man. And make you happy. I won't let you give up just from being taken to London. I don't know where her previous cuteness went, Osaka says with her confident smile and jumps off the desk. The sun should set soon. Spring break will end. It will become April, and after another year, should pass by quickly. We'll part with the scenery until then. After a year, I will be spending my last month of student life with Tosaka like this.
帰りましょう。今夜はエミヤくん家で賑やかに晩ご飯にするんだから。
Let's go home. We're going to have a lively dinner at your place tonight. We leave the classroom without any regrets. I hear the liveliness of the athletics clubs from the schoolyard. Their shouts are distant and remind me of a sword fight from some time ago. I can't stay in the same place forever. Tosaka and I will go to a different place a year from now. It should be a while until I find out whether this is the right choice or not. I recall the red figure just once. Neither this classroom nor that sword fight will change. Everything is the same. An illusion like a mirage that disappears if one turns around. But I can get there if I aim high. I will definitely catch up to this back with Tosaka's help. This back. So I'll come up with an answer at that time. The sound of sword echoing in the distance. Using that as a guide, I will eventually reach that place. Walking with the wind blowing on your face, walking towards the future. Busy days with no compass to guide you. After traveling to distant exotic countries, you will return to where you belong, one sunny day. Well, that was one of Unlimited Blade Works endings. I think it was, as at the end stated, the sunny day ending, I think? But I'm not sure. I will look at it after the credits. So let me ramble just a bit here. It's... especially in the last episode, it was baffling how much I didn't remember from, well, Unlimited Blade Works, the most known route probably, in the Fates the Night series, so... Well... I didn't remember all of the caster things in the middle. I didn't remember, well... most of the stuff with Archer, only that he was Shirou and, well, that he had Unlimited Blade Works. This is no Phantasm and Isles and the other stuff. And that Elia dies, I remembered that. But I didn't remember the backstory with her and her Heracles. I didn't properly remember the ending, what happened there. And totally other stuff also. So, well, this is going to lead into the next thing, Heaven's Feel. What I'm most excited about out of the three routes. Because I think the movie adaptations were, well, quite shortened in comparison to the visual novel. Do we get something here? Achievement or... do I have to click something? Answer? What? Well, as I said, I don't remember this. What is that? Let's read it. What came back to me was a distant memory. It was a sign that he should have forgotten and discarded, something that should not have returned. Sparks from swords clashing, swords pressing against each other. Dozens of premature and immature attacks and defenses are exchanged. The match concludes the match couldn't even be called an elegant exchange of swords. It's a clumsy melee of each side denying the other. So how did this worn-out vow get revived? It's an unbelievable fight between swords. He charges in despite being fully wounded. His fingers broken, limbs ripped. And the boy doesn't even realize it, but his breathing had long since stopped. The speed is insignificant and the blows are delivered mediocre. Even though he absorbed his knowledge and reached a point where he could withstand battle, he is back to being as clumsy as he was before. He executes a haphazard mediocre attack. However, that first blow is heavier than any of the other attacks before. There is no such thing as a hero of justice, knowing better than anyone else that his ideals are false. He silences that thought. His distorted mind can't bear it and collapses. It's clear that the boy, that his own contradictions are going to eat him up. But he shows no indication that he is going to submit. There's no sign of falsehood in him as he wields the blade, while his body is torn apart and his mental state dissolves. The intensity of this conflict is incomparable to anything in the past. Incomparable. The boy swings his sword foolhardily. The two sides struggle. The space is filled with sparks, and anything that tries to intervene is instantly cut to pieces. It's the embodiment of the two parties' minds, which were repelling each other, yet melding together. A decisive blow is struck. It's simple, the final spark, and ember admitted by a person in the last moment. The boy gasps and nearly falls over with each blow, then steps back and swings his sword again. Seeing that, he is convinced. His enemy doesn't have any strength left. The boy in front of him is on the verge of death, corpse-like. And yet why does the boy continue to wield the sword, as if he has infinite strength? He briefly sees a vision. He must have gotten tired of seeing his opponent swing his sword, despite knowing that it was pointless. Irritation, the most abhorrent impulse, well up within him. What did he feel? Was beautiful and noble? The boy says he doesn't want to see people die meaninglessly. If it's possible, is there a way to save everybody who is suffering? Of course not. He knows a wish like that is meaningless hypocrisy. The idea that others are more important than oneself is not something that should be ever cross one's mind. However, how wonderful would it be able to live like that? How great would it be to hold on to such an idea like that? Can't hear what his enemy is saying. His enemy's voice is so weak, yet the sword he wields is fierce. Looking closer, the boy's hands grip the sword he melted with the limb hilt. He must have done it to secure the sword, but by doing that, he will directly feel the impact of the sword. From the sword. The The boy is covered with blood, and if he retreats even a step back, he will fall forward as a corpse. Every attack the boy executes must be equivalent to agony in hell. The boy's voice is inaudible. The boy who is on the brink of death frantically goes up against the obstacle before him. The man does not need to be told what drives the boy to continue moving. It's a bad dream. The man is shown a reflection of his past. The boy continues to swing with his shredded arm. The only thing that can be heard is a strained yell. There were people that could not be saved, and he himself could not be saved. He saw the memories fade away meaninglessly and unjustifiably, and he vowed that he would never let that happen again. There's only one thing that comes to mind. What he believes. What he believed. An ideal he once swore to never let anyone else have. Even now, he swore he would not let anyone take it away from him. And then, the man realizes that there is no end to this repeating conflict. This enemy will not stop. The enemy will not stop on his own. The boy strikes with all his might, but his efforts do not grab the man's attention. The boy is trying to cut down himself. He is the one who is doing the obstructing. The enemy is wielding his swords for what he believes in, for the sake of what he can continue to believe in. Realizing that, the man gnashes his teeth. Sees the boy keep fighting. Even if he knows he can't win. Even if he knows there's no point. That is the exact mistake the man once made. But then why? Why does he keep looking at that boy straight on? The high-pitched sound of metal. The attack finally gets parried. The opponent's shoulder never have been able to block the attack. Should never be able to block the attack, but he repels the man's attacks with all his might, and as if it were natural. The mirror shatters. He's not that strong. He's not at all strong. The way he looks when he fights is ugly, and it's beyond appalling. But that sight. Who in the world could laugh at and scorn him for that? He holds his breath. The enemy flicks his sword and resheathes it in a single large stance. This will be the final attack. Will he be able to stand any longer with his wounded body and fading spirit? He will. The boy overcame those extreme limits 10 times already. Then, even if a man prevents his incoming attack, the enemy in front will surely not stop. He wields his sword as he crumbles to the ground. But his eyes, they are looking straight at him. Briefly, he sees a familiar dream. His dream. Who thought of it, and who passed it down to him? Whom? The boy's voice finally reaches his empty heart. A single scene comes into sight. What an ugly, obsessive, false sense of goodwill. A beautiful, struggling idea. A final blow comes. But the man does not see the sword which is about to pierce his chest. It is the only thing that motivates the boy. Even if his heart is fake, the beauty of what he believes in is real. And that's something that can't be faked. What was the only thing that man would be proud of? The thing that was once his own strength. Royce tries to complain with a crushed throat. He wants everyone to be happy. That's right. There was no way to turn back from the very beginning. Because this dream is, without a doubt, countless sins and mistakes were committed by his hands. There was no way to atone for them other than to curse and eliminate himself. His blood-soaked hands were proof of what he would never forgiven, that he would never be forgiven. And yet, his gaze is straight. Mistakes and lies. He shakes off everything that pierces him. And he continues to run without stopping. That battle ends in victory. The steel, the pain that pierces his chest will not pardon his sins. To a man who curses himself, salvation will never come. But he gains a small answer. The answer will only last until he fades once again. It's a minute and meaningless one that will be forgotten the next time he is summoned. There's nothing to feel remorseful over. It's nothing that has already been established, something that the boy will spend the rest of his life building. There's only one thing that comes to mind. There's regret. He doesn't know how many times he wished for to start over. His conclusion and ending, Emiya will continue to curse it forever. And yet...
それでも俺は間違えてなどいなかった。
Yet, I was not wrong. There's nothing to talk about. The boy will stay, where the man will go. The only thing that remains in memory will be the exchange of blows. The path stretches into the distance. Relying on distant echoing sounds, the boy heads through the wilderness. In. So. Complete rinse true ending. Let's look at the ending lists. Brilliant Years, true end. So we didn't get the sunny days. Or sunny day. That's a good end. I guess I have to do something different with affection system and stuff like that. It's just hard to see how much affection you have with one person. So anyway, as you can see, something has popped up here. As I've already mentioned, the next route will be Heaven's Feel, and that is finally based around Sakura. That was also made me kind of mad when I've watched the original Fate route and then Unlimited Blade Works. It really completely ignored Sakura, who was there. And if you have watched Fate Zero, you're after that I was kind of confused. Why do they ignore Sakura so much? And well, then came Heaven's Feel, and I was satisfied with the conclusion. It was, well, Heaven's Sphere was covered in 3 movies and... Oops. 3 movies and, well... I don't know if I really have covered everything. Oh yeah. You can see it here. It seems like we didn't have enough affection with Saber. Well, I got the true end. Probably make a short video after this one for a sunny day. So stay tuned for that. If you're watching that when it comes out. But I will cover it too. So, without any further ado, let me say it once again. I will see you in the next one. I will see you in Heaven's Sphere. And until then, I wish you a good day and goodbye.